Hey everybody, my name is Jake. I used to be a Jehovah's Witness, and I'm not anymore. And this is Sunday service. Every week I like to check in with my old religion and see what they're up to, what kind of fun videos they're making. And sometimes I have a guest, which is the case today. And I'm getting back to my roots in this episode. The last few months, 2 months, I haven't really reacted to anything JW wise. And so I'm a little bit out of the loop. There might be some controversy, some goings on going on, and we will figure out what those are. First, I do have to do a plug of sorts, and so here we go.
News, be privy to the evening news, newspaper, and have the local news, and have world news.
Sorry, I didn't remember what that sound drop was. It's terrible and doesn't have anything to do with what I'm about to say, but you know what? We all got to enjoy a little bit of the good news guy. So I very awkwardly have to plug GoFundMe for me. I am asking you to go fund me and my wife. The link is in the description. We're just going through some financial difficulties right now. She was sick with pneumonia like the whole last month and wasn't able to work. And I had emergency room visits, and we just are not in great shape. So if you want to help us with rent this month, that's in the description. I won't belabor the point, but I do awkwardly have to plug that. So yeah, click link in the description, and I'm on all the PayPal and Venmo and stuff like that. Ryan Kaltastic, you are so not late that you're basically early. Because what we're going to do before we get into the November JW broadcasting is we're going to talk to a special guest, a fellow ex-Jehovah's Witness. I'm just realizing you can see Peach's potty pad down there in the background. That should disappear when I bring on our guest, and it cuts off part of my screen that you usually can't see. You might know him as Disfellow Dip. Oh no, he told me and I messed it up. But Jordan Smalls, fellow ex-Jehovah's Witness, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Hey, thanks so much for being here, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
And what is your username that people might know you by on social media?
This fellow dipped. You were close.
This fellow dipped. I was trying to add an extra S in there and was confusing things. Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here. You are also a former Jehovah's Witness, and I've watched some of your videos on TikTok, but we've never really talked before one-on-one, and I wanted to get to know you a little bit. So how long ago has it been since you left the religion?
I left February of 2024. So only
okay, wow.
Yeah.
So relatively recent. Were you somebody who was born in?
Yeah.
Okay. Parents, witnesses?
Mm-hmm. Both, yeah.
So, tell me a little bit about your growing up.
So I grew up in the Turnersville congregation. We had our own assembly hall in Jersey.
New Jersey, okay.
Yeah. But I grew up in Glassboro, so they're like neighboring towns in South Jersey. My dad was an elder like before I was born. He's conducted the Watchtower like as long as I can remember. And then my mom, she was very like devout. I don't remember her like being a pioneer because she had her own like medical issues and stuff like that. But she still was like very into the religion. So we were raised like, they were reading us probably the Bible story book and other books like inside the womb. So,
yeah. So you were being filled with the fun, scary pictures of our youth, the nightmare-inducing pictures. But what was your relationship with it at the time? I mean, do you remember enjoying it? Were you somebody who kind of rubbed against it from a young age? What was your experience?
Honestly, I never had an issue with it. Like I had a good childhood. I mean, everybody has like different issues, but yeah, my childhood wasn't bad. I actually believed in everything. Like I never had any qualms with any of the beliefs, like basically until I got older and started actually thinking about things. But
when was that for you? Like how much older?
It was probably like 2023. I had started hearing like about the ARC. So I kind of looked at that. Yeah. And then I kind of brushed it off like, oh, Jehovah will handle it or something like that.
I'll just briefly translate for people who might not have heard of that if we have anybody who's questioning or just has no relationship with the witness. That's the Australian Royal Commission, where it was a big investigation in Australia where they looked at all kinds of groups, including Jehovah's Witnesses, and found over 1,000 cases of CSA among elders and ministerial servants over the course of like 15 years that had never been reported to the police. 50 years, I should say. Sorry, I just wanted to give a little bit of background there.
Oh no, you're good.
So you like sought it out at some point and watched it and were able to dismiss it?
Yeah, I don't even remember. Like probably when I was leaving, I remembered I was looking at a YouTube video, and then I realized it was in my history, and I was like, "Oh, I've watched this before." So I don't remember how I had stumbled on it, but I had just stumbled on it and been like, "Let me just see what this says, see if it's actually a lie or not." Basically,
That is fascinating. So, like you might have watched it, but you'd blocked it out or something. Like it had that little of an impact on you.
yeah.
That's interesting. I had a similar experience with the book that is featured on the shelf behind me, Crisis of Conscience, where I accidentally stumbled across that like as a kid in middle school because we were searching on some database, and I think out of curiosity I searched Jehovah's Witnesses, and that was like the only thing on there. But I had totally blocked that out until I started questioning. It's weird how our brains do that. You know, sorry, I'm kind of jumping all over the place. We can get more linear, I suppose, but something I forgot to ask you that I try to ask ex-witnesses, because I'm sure we're going to be kind of negative a little bit later in the show, and it's easy for me to be, cynical and negative about stuff, but I had a relatively positive experience like yourself. So what did you like about the religion when you were in?
I think people were pretty loving, pretty much and we were really close with a lot of witnesses. So I have a lot of aunts and uncles that aren't actually family, but we had just, grown up around each other. We had a lot of sleepovers and stuff,
Spiritual family.
I would say that. Yeah. What else can I say? Like, I didn't mind the meetings. Like, I was always kind of a studious kid. I like to sing, obviously, so I didn't mind the singing part. And I think I enjoyed conventions and assemblies, because you got to see people.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah,
that felt like an event, not quite a party, but a lot of partying would happen around that time because you were around all your friends. Yeah, the big family. Yeah, there are like restaurants around where I live that are kind of way further away. I don't go to now, but sometimes when we're driving out of town, I'll see it and I'm like, oh yeah, that was our after convention restaurant. That El Vaquero, that was the place we would always go. So you were a studious kid. Were you a ministerial servant at any point?
No. So I got baptized at 12. Me and my twin got baptized the same day. And that, I have a fraternal twin. So that I kind of got baptized just to make sure I wasn't in his shadow anymore. Because I was like the less cool twin, and I was very personable, but I always felt like I was in his shadow. So I was like, I don't want to get left behind with this. So I was like, I love Jehovah too. I might as well get baptized, which I did, but it was for the wrong reason. And then over time, I was spiritual. I didn't really miss service or meetings or anything like that, but I never became a servant. I got close. I would read the Watchtower sometimes, and I've said a few prayers at the meeting, but I never became one because I was too honest about my porn problem.
Honesty will get you every time.
Yep.
That's very interesting that you said that. I just recorded an interview with a former Christian nationalist, which will come out this coming week probably. And we talked about this thing where the standards are kind of impossible to live up to. Not that it's impossible to never view pornography, but in that kind of environment where you are very sexually repressed and where you are really only allowed sexual expression in this one specific scenario, which is heterosexual marriage with another Jehovah's Witness, it's very repressed and there's no acceptable outlet. And what I found, and the person I interviewed found, was that kind of creates a system that self-selects for dishonest people in a way, because if people were really honest about how much they are sinning, it probably would prevent them from reaching a higher plane of service or whatever the wording is. I had a Bible study for a while, and he was somebody who was raised around the organization, but had just never gotten baptized. Not somebody I found in the door-to-door ministry. But he said the thing that was holding him back after we got done with the second book or whatever was that he couldn't get over his masturbation habit. And he had talked to the elders, and they told them that wouldn't actually prevent him from getting baptized. And that's actually something that kind of started my questioning process, because I was thinking like, oh, well, I kind of just decided that rule was stupid in my early 20s because it didn't seem like Jehovah was preventing any blessings on my. And when I hit a point where I was like, oh, I don't feel comfortable teaching what the teaching is because it conflicts with the little nuances that I've created in my head. I think that created something. Okay. Sorry, I just talked about myself for like 5 straight minutes.
No, you're good. Well, I had a friend who he was a servant, and he told me like, do you know how many brothers watch porn? Like, you're not the only one, but they just don't confess it. And I was so irritated that he said that, because I'm like, I'm sitting here with no privileges, can't do this, can't do that. Like, I could still comment, but I'm like, because I was actually honest. But the thing was, I knew that I liked men and women since I was like 7. So the porn I was watching was primarily gay. So that's why I was like, no privileges, because that's like the worst of the worst to watch, besides, the things that a lot of other brothers watch, which is way worse. So.
Sorry, I was chewing a piece of my string cheese. So sorry about any lip smacking noises that are happening in the mic.
Oh, you're good.
Consider that ASMR and a treat and a bonus of watching the stream. So I am also a biman. I didn't intend to wear such a bisexual shirt, but it is aggressive almost, I'm realizing. But I had similar experiences there, and I definitely did not mention any gay stuff that I watched. I did not, like, I confessed, but not fully to that.
You were smart.
In that, well, but it just filled me with a lot of guilt, because I was like, well, I'm getting privileges, but if I was honest, maybe I wouldn't, but maybe that means it's actually okay, and just the organization is out of step, but now maybe this is a test from Jehovah. Did you have any of that kind of, like, inner turmoil as a witness?
Oh, yeah. Like, I wasn't always completely honest, but I'm like, do they need to know every detail about what I'm doing with my own body? Like, no.
Yeah.
So, no, I had, like, inner turmoil when I wouldn't confess, but months later I would end up confessing anyway. So it would just eat me up inside. I couldn't not let it out.
That's such a rough thing about being in a group like that. It's just the constant shame and being told that you're not good enough for things that really aren't a big deal at all. Like, there's no reason why you should worry about what a bunch of old dudes in your church, like, you shouldn't care about what they think. It shouldn't be any of their business. And it's weird. Like, I think most people outside the group would think that is weird, but you are just conditioned your whole life to believe, well, this is normal and this is what Jehovah wants. So I want to talk a little bit about, like, your questioning process. What kind of doubts did you have? Like, do you remember anything striking you at any point that, like, started the snowball rolling?
So I didn't, like, I had kind of had one disagreement about the it was very light, like the faithful and discreet slave, like who that was, because we had believed before they had believed before that everyone who was anointed was a part of the faithful slave. And I'm like, well, you have these people who just go to meetings and claim to be anointed, but they don't make the publications. They're not involved in writing things. So I'm like, they can't be the faithful slave. But I never, like, vocalized that. And then they changed it to what I thought. And I was like, yeah, I was right. So
right. They changed it to, it's just the governing body. They are the prophesied faithful slave in the Bible. And that's funny. I had a similar reaction where it's like, oh, I basically thought that's what we believed already.
Yeah.
So did that cause some thinking that's like, hey, wait, I actually was ahead on this?
No, it was just like I felt like they should have that was obvious, basically. But, like, I didn't start doubting until the beard change.
Interesting.
So
I love to hear that.
They wrote an article about it. I think it was in Awake, but they weren't explicitly like you can grow beards.
Right. In like 2009 or something, there was this article that made tidal waves throughout my congregation, and all the elders were talking like, it said something along the lines of, if it's socially acceptable in your area to wear beards, it's no big deal. But it wasn't clear, and then they basically ended up defaulting later to no. Well, we don't think it is socially acceptable in the United States, so that's just as for other places. Yeah, and it's a very arbitrary, strange rule that goes against what's in the Bible.
Right.
So that is like, even though it's a small thing, that ends up being something that I know causes a lot of men to start questioning.
Yeah, and then like all the guys my age, we all wanted beards. We went to Spain for a month, me and my brothers and another brother, and I noticed how a lot of the British brothers had beards. Even like British brothers I'd follow, I'm like, you guys have beards, or several European brothers, and it's not like like a facial hair issue. They just grew a beard, and I'm like, well, that's kind of counter to what we've been taught, or what rules we have to follow in America. And then so when they changed it, he was like, don't feel vindicated, and I was like,
yeah,
tell me how to feel. Like,
he, meaning Stephen Lett, the governing body member, he in the broadcast, it's very odd, but he's like, now some people may feel vindicated, some people may feel betrayed. He didn't quite say it like that. He's like, but neither of those feelings are really valid. You shouldn't feel that way at all.
Yeah. But honestly, that isn't even what started my whole deconstruction. Like, by that point, I was on my way to becoming agnostic. Because I was like, so I was struggling with my sexuality, and I was trying to become closer to God. So I was reading my Bible more. And when I was reading Genesis, I was like, I don't like this story.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just like, it felt like a setup for Adam and Eve. And then when I would talk about other doubts, like I would ask some of my friends, like, why do they always paint Adam and Eve as white? To me, I'm like, are they saying that perfection begins with white people? And my friend was like, no, it's just like an interpretation. I'm like, why is that the interpretation though?
Right.
But anytime you have doubts, they're like, just, get it out of your mind. Basically, they have a whole original song about that, like getting rid of your doubts instead of actually challenging them.
Ugh. I haven't seen that song.
Yeah, it's creepy as hell. So I had talked to I vocalized it to my dad. Like, I think I just sent him a text or something like that. And he did the same thing. He was just like, your thinking is dangerous. And instead of like actually responding to my doubts, like, why did he allow this test? Why did he even need to put the test there? Just let them live and learn. He was like, your thinking is dangerous. And then when I read Job, I had the same reaction. I'm like, this is fucked up. That he just bet, Job's life. And I was like, I told my mom, I looked at it from the standpoint of Job's children. I was like, if I was your child and I had to die to prove you're loyal, I was like, I'm not willing to die for your test of loyalty. And she was just like, she couldn't respond. She was like,
right. Because of course it would be absurd. Like, of course the Abraham and Isaac story is absurd. Like, you would never just hopefully you would have a lot of questions if there was suddenly a voice in your head telling you to take your son up the mountaintop and put him on an altar and kill him. I really like that you brought up the race of the characters in the publication, because it is something very odd, and they still really cling to it, where all the angels are always portrayed as white, and Adam and Eve are very white. They'll sometimes make them like olive skinned. But that's a really weird thing. And they even have beliefs about like, well, just in Adam's loins, all of the races of the world were contained. So he just, was spurting out a rainbow. Not unlike my shirt, really. That's. I'm sorry to put that on you and your very serious experience, but.
No, I agree. And even like, what was I going to say? Like, I'm not even asking for Adam and Eve to be black, but I'm like, put them in the middle. You have a whole spectrum of people, like, and if you look at different continents, like a lot of the natives of the continents look very similar. Like, if you look at America, you look at like Greenland, you look at Russia, like there are darker skin and maybe like slightly smaller eyes, whatever, but make them look brown, put them in the middle.
Yeah. Like
in the middle, you have a spectrum to go back and forth. Like,
historically, we understand what they would have looked like, and it's not like a pasty Caucasian supermodel, that it just isn't like that. And yet with Jesus too, they're very, like, they don't paint him or portray him as like Palestinian or something.
No.
He's, he's a white guy, or
No, he's
maybe
Australian. He's an Australian guy now.
he's an Australian sort of Italian guy. Australian Italian. I'm sure that's a thing, but it sounds funny to say. Now, speaking of Australia, the Royal Commission, that's the kind of transition you get good at in broadcasting. Just a little note. No, so what? Like, at what point are you hearing about that? Because when I was I remember hitting a point, and I was similar to you, where I started feeling like I needed to strengthen my faith by reading the publications in the Bible. But it's like it had the opposite of the intended effect. And it's like then I started noticing, like, oh, there's this Leah Remini special that's coming out that I'm seeing commercials about Jehovah's Witnesses. Was it something like that where you heard it through the grapevine?
So I'll tell you, I guess I didn't say anything about this, but I used to argue with apostates on TikTok.
Whoa!
Yeah.
This is important. I would have started with this if I
know. I forgot that I did this. So like 2023, maybe, there's a TikToker named ExJW Fun. We're actually mutuals now. So I would argue with him and he would make videos responding to my comments. And I was very deep in the religion and I would make excuses for things. So I think either him or somebody else had mentioned the Royal Commission. And I was like, if this religion is true, I can look into this and nothing should really be wrong. So I started looking into it and I was like, oh. And then once you find the YouTube video with Jackson, being on the stand and lying about being God's representative, I was like, oh, well, damn.
It's like,
it's not true.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That is fascinating. I want to talk about the arguing with apostates thing first, because I have to think, like, you're saying that, and I'm getting nervous for Jehovah's Witness Jordan, because I know that feeling of, oh, I'm arguing on the internet about this. I'm really not supposed to be doing this. Like, did that give you kind of a panicky feeling or anything like that?
Yeah, because sometimes I would join TikTok lives of like atheists who would try to prove that God isn't real. So that gave me more of a nervousness because I wasn't like versed in things that I should be versed in to do these arguments or make these arguments. And then with the witnesses or the apostates too, I was like nervous because he was responding to my comments and my name's attached to it. So anybody can see that I'm interacting with apostates. So that's
and weirdly, I think you would get in trouble for that. Like, even though you are defending the religion, and supposedly we're supposed to be these preachers of righteousness who always defend the faith, not if it's an apostate, not if it's somebody who is accusing Jehovah's Witnesses of being a cult or of having any problems whatsoever. You're just supposed to kind of shut down the conversation. So the Australian Royal Commission thing, it is Jeffrey Jackson's testimony. Maybe we can even watch a clip from it or something. But that I had the same experience. I had a little bit of an arc with the ARC. Didn't even intend to do that. But like I remember at the beginning being like, oh, he's using a lot of scriptures. That's interesting. Maybe he's actually going to defend the religion. And then just slowly, I'm like, uh-oh, I think that was actually just a lie. And that really is just a lie. He's just lying about that because I know what our religion teaches, and it's not what he's saying. Like, to me, even if you could justify it in your head, his demeanor and attitude felt to me like the complete opposite of what I would have imagined, like the Apostle Paul doing or something. It was like embarrassing to watch. Was that your experience?
Yeah, because it was just like, I think we were indoctrinated with this idea that they can lie to the courts anyway, as long as they're defending Jehovah. But the thing is, they were just concerned about their reputation. That's why they're lying. It's not for Jehovah. It's to make sure that they don't have to answer to the courts and then end up losing their government funding, which they're doing anyway.
Yes, I think that's so important because what they are being held accountable for is child sexual abuse. I mean, it couldn't be a more important issue, and the person, kind of cross-examining Mr. Jackson is Angus Stewart. he is asking very good faith questions. He clearly has a knowledge of the religion, and he's not like, you are terrible and evil. How dare you? He's like, well, okay, so your religion teaches this. Is there a way that we could get women involved in this process? Because just through research, we know this is important, and it wouldn't be in a leadership role, and he's just like, no, there's absolutely no way. And it just felt very unreasonable. Wait, I meant to share this tab. Let's see. Let's watch this clip. See if it's any good.
Now, do you recognize, Mr. Jackson, and in asking this question, let me make it clear, I'm not suggesting it's peculiar to the Jehovah's Witness organization. There are many, many organizations in this position. But do you accept that the Jehovah's Witness organization has a problem with child abuse amongst its members?
I accept that child abuse is a problem right throughout the community, and it's something that we've had to deal with as well.
And do you...
It's like watching a politician on CNN or something.
Mm-hmm. He's deflecting.
Yeah, totally deflecting, not taking ownership in a way that feels very contrary to how we are taught as witnesses to apologize and take accountability for our actions.
Exactly.
It's presented, I withdraw that. Do you accept that the manner in which your organization has dealt with allegations of child sexual abuse has also presented problems?
There have been changes in policies over the last 20 or 30 years where we've tried to address some of those problem areas, and by the fact that we've changed the policy would indicate that the original policies weren't perfect.
And you...
So weaselly.
Yes.
Like, the question was, do you accept that your organization has had problems? And he's like, I accept the general idea that because we made changes, that it wasn't perfect. I was like, whoa.
And
Jehovah's really proud of that one.
Like the 2 witness rule is still messed up. It's not protecting kids.
Yeah.
To protect kids.
Let's explain what that is too. It basically, the witnesses in the elders manual and in the publicly available stuff that's on their website, really, like any accusation within Jehovah's Witnesses has to have 2 witnesses because of this one verse. And they include CSA in that. So obviously there are hardly ever going to be 2 witnesses to such a crime. And yes, and so it's unreasonable, and because of that, a lot of abusers have slipped through the cracks. Especially, you can imagine if it's an elder or a servant, the way that kind of family dynamics can sometimes take precedent in these congregations. Yeah. But he won't admit it. And then, what was it Lila said was that lying is always acceptable if it's defending the group, and that really is what the teaching is. If it's to protect the organization,
of course, that your organization, including people in positions of responsibility like elders, are not immune from the problem of child sexual abuse.
That appears to be the case.
Appears to be. So he didn't even answer it, really, because he wants to like allow for the possibility that this is all some grand conspiracy theory, and well, it appears to be the case, but who could possibly know for certain? I hate it. I was thinking of watching this whole 3 minutes, but I think, no, it's too infuriating. The viewers are getting the idea. Yeah. But yeah, that is what it's like the whole time, is he's just very weaselly about it.
Yeah, they don't want to answer. They only think they can answer to God. They don't think they can answer to human beings in the courts.
Yeah, he clearly viewed himself as above accountability, which weirdly is not what the Bible says about like being like respecting people in higher authorities. So what was your journey out of the religion like? Because it is different to be still a member and you're on the books and you know it's not true, or being physically and mentally out PMO. And then that's very different actually leaving, potentially getting disfellowshipped. So what was that process like for you?
So after I had started like researching things, I noticed like after the beard change, or even before that, I noticed a lot of like group speak. Like, I hate when people tell me how I feel. I'm like, don't tell me how to feel. I know how I feel. So a lot of times they would say, aren't we happy? I'm like, no, I'm not happy about this. This is stupid. So I had noticed that I wasn't really going to meetings as much. I would just join Zoom, which is when I didn't, I was just bored with the meetings. I was getting so bored. But it's funny you brought up Crisis of Conscience because I started reading that after, I don't remember when I started reading it, but I had gotten I didn't realize how much of it I had read, and I was underlining and everything. And I think I got halfway through and I was like, I don't believe this anymore. So I was reading it at the meetings. When I would go to the meetings, I wouldn't be paying attention. I would be reading Crisis of Conscience.
I did the same thing. I did the same thing on my Kindle.
I was like, this is amazing. I feel exhilarated right now. So I'll be doing that. And before that, I was very active. I was commenting. I would comment 3 times a meeting. I would have a cap where I would be like, if these people don't comment, I'm going to cut myself off at 3 comments because I shouldn't be commenting 4 times in a meeting with over 100 people in here.
Yeah. So you were very thoughtful about that because that is a huge thing. The little social dynamics of being in a Kingdom Hall and you don't want to be the person dominating the conversation like a goody two shoes, but at the same time, sometimes people are tuned out and not raising their hand. It's just like being in a classroom basically. Mm-hmm. Except you have to believe everything in the classroom or you'll die at Armageddon.
Right.
Now, so, you have a twin, you have family that you're close to who are in the witnesses. At what point do you tell your family?
I think, so I left February. It all happened very fast. So I told them a few weeks before I just stopped going to meetings, probably not even, maybe the same week that I was telling my parents, I was asking my parents, how do you feel about birthdays? My dad was like, how do you feel about birthdays? And I was like, oh, here we go. Yeah. Never mind. So, because then I had stopped agreeing with that too, because I'm like, nobody's getting beheaded at anybody's birthdays. This is stupid. You should be able to have a special day for yourself. And a lot of witnesses post about birthdays anyway. When me and my brother turned 29, my mom was like, I can't believe my boys are 29 on the day we were born. I'm like, that's kind of celebrating, don't you think?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bringing attention to it in some way. I had friends who she has 3 kids and she got tattooed all of her kids' birthdays on her body. I'm like, this is
a friend who's a witness, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I know some cheaters and false Christians do that. I knew, well, actually, I think she's talked about it on the channel, but Christina got a tattoo before she was, awake for to commemorate something important.
Right.
That is just so crazy to me because I would have never considered that as a witness. Nope. Just the being yelled at by my dad alone was enough to prevent me from doing such a thing.
Yeah.
But you're becoming a very independent thinker around this time.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
and a critical thinker.
I was always independent, in general. But I hadn't spoken to my brothers about it, really. My brother, my twin, I had told him, I kind of came out to him and I told him about the porn and stuff. And he was like, why are you telling me this? He was so uncomfortable.
Oh, that's a shame.
So, yeah. And so I posted on Instagram that I didn't believe in the organization anymore. I just put it on my story and I was like, I'm not going to be going to, if you don't see me at the Kingdom Hall, here's what, I didn't really get explicit about the reasons. I made I'm forgetting things. I was also on ExJW Reddit and I was watching your videos and Wally's videos and just seeing that apostates were just normal people who believed in the religion and left because they saw it wasn't the truth. So
that's the killer. That's the killer, is realizing that, it's just normal people. Now, what was your feeling when you encountered that? Because to me, I had relief unexpectedly. I thought it would be scary, but as soon as I realized, I was like, oh, okay. It's actually not scary.
Because even the guy I was arguing with on TikTok, he was very kind. He was never angry or mean. I was meaner to him than he was to me. He was always respectful. And then the people on Reddit, I was like, these people are so normal. They're not mean, they're not vindictive or out to get anybody, they're just venting about everything that goes on in their religion. So I noticed that, and then I would watch Daniel Graves. He had a few videos. I don't know if you interviewed him.
I think I know who you're talking about, but I have not interviewed him.
Okay,
tell us about him.
He was in Bethel, higher up, And he, in his videos, or his interviews, he kind of exposed similar things to what what's his name, Franz was exposing, like just a lot of the issues that go on in Bethel and things.
Yes, he really blew the whistle on the amount of deaths from blood transfusions. Was it that guy? I think it was him.
I think so. And I think he also talked about like there's alcoholism problems in Bethel and like a lot of depression. And I was like, oh wow. So even if it's that bad higher up, like that's the cultiest part of the cult. And if they're not doing well in the cultiest part, clearly there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I was watching like videos of ex-elders and like sisters who were still around in Bethel when the 1975 thing came and they didn't have kids and they were disappointed. I was like, all of these people are normal and they're not out trying to start their own religion. They're not out just to be sinners and whatever else. So yeah. And then I was just seeing how free they were and they didn't seem unhappy and like cursed by the devil or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So once like I had woken up, it's hard to be vocal about that kind of stuff. You don't talk about it. You don't talk about doubts. You definitely don't talk about just leaving. So I pretty much just like, I put it on my Instagram that I was, not going to meetings. I didn't say I wasn't a witness anymore. I didn't want to be a witness. I just said, I'm not going to meetings. And because I want to be communicative about it. And so many people just unfollowed, didn't say anything. The people I have known since I was like 5 or born, they just unfollowed.
Never heard a word.
Like the people who actually loved me, like reached out, like, are you serious? Have you really thought about this? Blah, blah, blah. And it was interesting. I had like my sister-in-law's from Spain. So I had her sister reach out to me. I had a friend from Belgium reach out to me, and I had friends from like New York. They all sounded the same. They said the same things. And I was like, you guys sound like robots. This is scary.
Yeah. Like they don't have any arguments that you haven't heard a million times before.
Yes.
And so when you start to hear it differently and you see the way that they shut down, like when you were talking about, your family just saying like, that sounds really dangerous. I mean, that was my experience too. Like I had never seen like my mom and dad act the way that they acted when we talked about that. Like they truly, you saw these shutters come down over their eyes. They seemed like different people.
Oh yeah.
And you realize that, these really aren't beliefs. These are talking points. These are things that have been drilled into your brain to work around critical thinking. So you experienced shunning very quickly.
Yeah. My brother too, I think he basically like forced me to come out too. Well, I told my brother that I was bisexual, but I didn't use those words, but he knew. And when I was leaving, both my brothers called me and were like, is this true? Blah, blah, blah. And my twin was like, so are you going to live as a bisexual man? And I should have been like, that's none of your business. Like, I'm not going to answer that.
Yeah.
But I was just like, there's no reason to lie. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, well, you know how we feel about that, blah, blah, blah. So like by that point, I think because of my sexuality and because like I was vocal about not believing in the organization anymore, which is the worst thing possible.
Yeah.
It was like they started shunning me. And I'm like, I didn't get in trouble. I didn't commit some sin. Like I hadn't even kissed anybody by that point. I'm like, and you're already shunning me after just me saying I don't believe in this. That's crazy. So I had like, I think, it was February. I celebrated my birthday in August. And then I think, was it the same month? I don't know if it was August or October. I think it was August I disassociated because I was like, I don't want to be associated with this anymore. I don't believe in it. I'm already being shunned. What's the point?
Yeah. So disassociation for the viewers is when you write a letter to the elders and say, I no longer want to be seen as Jehovah's Witnesses. But the punishment is the same as it is if you committed gross sin, if you murdered someone. Like they read the same amountment. No, announcement. So-and-so is not one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And so so is your family shunning you currently? Is that something you have to deal with?
So I have a nephew that was born in December that I haven't met. And what's funny, so two things happened. My twin lived in a city like 20 minutes from me. And then my parents lived right down the street from the Kingdom Hall. And sometimes like I work still in the same area. So I would go past my parents' house just to see what was going on. And one day I noticed there was a Christmas wreath on the door. And I was like, they wouldn't have left their religion without telling me what's going on. So I found out they moved, and they moved like down the street. They didn't move that far. So I had to Google my parents' address, and I got them a housewarming gift, and I left it at the door with a card that just said, you know, basically like, I know I've hurt you, blah, 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 but I hope one day we can rekindle, or whatever I said. And, you know, I enjoy your new house or whatever. And my mom was like, you have to stop trying to keep in contact with us, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, damn, that's so tough. Yeah.
It's so cold. It's so cold. I'm so sorry. I mean, it's the worst. I know for me, I love my parents so much, but I do hate that it's painful for them, but it is also very difficult because from their point of view, they are the victims and they owe no apologies, and it's all your fault for abandoning something that you know to be true. Like Dr. Shemp was saying in the comments there. So how have you, because you seem like a happy person, you seem like you're funny, you're posting stuff on TikTok, and how has it been dealing with the follow to that so far?
It's been interesting because so my brothers and both my brothers live in my neighborhood, so they live walking distance from me. So it's insane. Like, I've texted my sister-in-law, like, don't you think it's kind of cruel that I haven't met my nephew and you guys are down the street? I literally forced my brother to talk to me because I just pulled up into the parking lot, and he was like, why are you in my spot? Like, I was in his parking spot, which we don't have assigned spots. So by then, like, I still had the beard and the earrings. I just shaved this for November, my rugby team. But but that's what's been helping me, like, keep my sanity. So right after I left, I was like, I wanted to see if rugby was a thing in my area, if we had a team, because I was like, the sport looks cool, and, you know, hot men, sure.
Yeah, sure.
So I just found the Raleigh Rugby Instagram, and then
an outlet for violent rage.
That too.
Men.
That too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But when I joined, so I had broken my wrist snowboarding in January of 2024. So I had gotten the surgery, and then my wrist was still like in a cast or whatever. So I had joined and then just kind of been in practice here and there. So now I'm still playing that, and that has helped me keep my sanity, because we have games on the weekends, and then we'll go out to the bar after, because we have like a sponsor at a brewery. So that, I've gained a lot of friends through that. And then my friend Micah, I've known him since we were like 12 when I first moved here. So he left, he got his fellowship like years before I went out. And I reached out to him when I was leaving. And he was like, the way he was so forgiving, like, I hadn't spoken to him in years. I would kind of keep tabs on him here and there. I found out like we had worked for the same company. This is so embarrassing. So I saw he was a driver at the company, and I saw him from a distance and like hid. I was sitting in my car and I like ducked, and I was like, thinking back to it, I was like, what the fuck was I doing? That is so embarrassing. So I apologized to him and was like, I'm so sorry, like, that I just ignored you for years. He was so forgiving. Like, he just brushed it off. I was amazed. So he's been like a real pillar for like keeping my sanity, basically. But honestly, having the TikTok has really helped, because it's been therapeutic just to like deconstruct everything and just talk about it. So those are the ways I've kept sane.
Oh man, that makes me so happy hearing all of that. Being able to reconnect with people that you grew up with. I've had a similar experience where everyone's just so happy that you're no longer in, like, you know, it's like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you that you don't have to deal with that made up stuff anymore and have it affect your life. And what you said about, you know, like joining a rugby team and making friends, that is so important. And it's the thing that, you know, I have the hardest time with, just maintaining real life friendships with people. It's something that I think probably comes from trust issues when you have people in your life one day and then at the drop of a hat, they're all gone. Deanna saying regular activities is the best way to make friends. It is unfortunately true. I like, now one of my best friends is from work, just work.
Wow.
And it's normal work friends. Yeah. So it's, that makes me really happy to hear, man.
Thanks.
Do you want to talk about some cringy stuff that'll trigger us and make us mad?
Yeah. Sounds good to me.
Bring some of that rugby energy to whatever old man is talking. It's our Australian Royal Commission friend. Oh my God. This is so exciting. Okay, well, before we get to this, I'm going to take just a quick 60-second break. Please enjoy this wonderful Awkward Silent Supercut while we take a quick snack break.
Wow. Listen. And it says here, forego financial advantages to attend all 3 sessions here. So again, does God notice and appreciate your efforts? Well, perhaps not. So what is shit? Well, shit has been defined as the act of shitting. It involves actions. Not all shit pleases Jehovah. That was based.
I gotta be really, it's been a while since I've watched it. I forgot about a lot of what he says. You know what I sometimes wonder is, what if that guy wakes up and he's just tuning into a nice stream one day and sees his face on here? I hope that they know that this comes from a place of love, and I only edit people whose energy compels me enough to watch them for hours and hours. So sorry to that guy, and also thank you for bringing us so many laughs over the year. And also, you know what? That reminds me, I need somebody to send me the leaked annual meeting, because I gotta start making this year's Awkward Silent Supercut. Don't the holidays sneak up on us? That one, this I call the holiday of diminishing returns, because fewer and fewer people care every year, but I put more and more effort into it. Okay. Wow. Also give me money on GoFundMe so we don't die. All right. So that's that.
Yeah, I'll definitely. And then,
no, not you, but the other.
No,
people.
I know.
Okay. So this, I didn't know that we were in for such a treat. I guess I did, because I made that thumbnail yesterday. But I forgot it. It made such little impact on my brain that it was still a complete surprise. Well, that works out well that we got to see our boy a little bit earlier. We might speed him up a tad, but I think we should give everyone just a taste of the energy before I speed it up.
Welcome to JW Broadcasting.
Whoa! No, it's already speed up. Slow it down a notch there, Jeffy. Brother Jeff.
Welcome to JW Broadcasting.
And that's trademarked, folks.
In this month's program, we'll see why it's so important to feed the person we are inside.
The man inside me?
We'll feature the story of a brother who rose to fame and yet struggled with depression and anxiety.
They made a video about me?
The book of Obadiah is one of the shortest in the Bible, but it contains big lessons.
Speaking of short kings, Obadiah. Sorry,
that famous brother they're talking about. I researched him, and I made a TikTok about him. He's not actually famous.
Ah, that makes me so happy. Oh my God.
But I'll tell you the details when we get.
Yes, no, this is great that we have some research.
Yep.
Our latest Dig for Treasures
small book, big lessons.
Will unearth some practical gems you can use.
And by the way, the last time we watched this, we realized that they totally plagiarized this Digging for Gems segment from a very popular YouTube series.
Oh wow.
And there's a few channels like it. I'll pull up a clip when we get to that part. But yeah, it's like it's the same exact format of two people having a conversation while they cut to relatively high quality footage of the Bible and stuff. It's very weird.
They're running out of content.
Have you ever been so busy
They're hacks.
in a project
Engrossed.
suddenly experience an intense feeling in your stomach.
Whoa.
What is it? Yes,
Okay, I'm going to speed them up, but I already I'm like, they know that I'm going to make an edit out of this, and they just don't care.
It's so infantile the way they talk to witnesses. I feel like I'm a child.
It's insane.
Have you ever felt hungry for food?
What is-
my goodness.
Do we know what hunger is? Yes, Jeff.
Baby wants food.
probably hunger. Your body is telling you that it's time to eat.
Perhaps
That's a normal
Vegemite.
feeling, one that we all can relate with. Hunger alerts us to the need to eat.
Oh, I don't miss
Without it,
this.
we could perhaps
This is
neglect
1.2
our physical
speed.
need for
It is a
food,
little slow for
which
my
could
taste.
lead to serious problems. Unfortunately,
you
today,
ever been
hundreds of
human
millions
before?
of people can't satisfy their hunger properly. because of lack of
Oxygen
food or resources.
doesn't really taste like
For them,
anything
hunger
unless
is
something smells.
But whatever our situation,
That's
in order
like
to live, hunger
Jehovah.
alerts us to a basic need, the need for food.
Ah, the need for food.
Another essential type of hunger.
The need for food is so important, and I would love it if we do get to hear about that guy's mom's sweet potato pie. But this thing about food is weirdly important to their beliefs because, like, the role of the governing body is to provide food at the proper time. So they very much need there to be food in the Bible. Like, the concept of food has to be important. Very
Most
strange.
people on this planet
Oh, they're saying
are
the
hungry.
stream is quiet,
What
like
is
the
it?
video.
Oh, it is a little. Sorry, I turned it down because I was worried it was loud.
It was just after his baptism. Let's read the account found in
Baptism.
Matthew 4, verses 1 through 4.
No, and we don't read the
And said
scriptures
to
on
him,
this show.
If you are a son of God,
Oh!
tell these stones to be
But it's smart what they're doing and putting in the footage of the movie that they made. That I
In Jesus, the
word that
hot
comes from
Jesus.
Jehovah's mouth.
wait.
Jesus recognized that
Oh, he didn't even play the actual dialogue from the movie, but it was kind of cool how he synced it up. Now, I kind of felt like the good news, according to Jesus, was just expensive-looking B-roll, and now I'm starting to suspect that that is what it is, and they're just gonna they made it so that they had footage to cut to every time they talk about Jesus.
Yep.
Is it a little better now, the volume on the video?
I could hear it better.
Okay.
I don't know about everybody else.
while we need physical food, our primary concern should be to satisfy our spiritual
A
needs.
fake thing from the
This
Bible is
includes
more important than
having a
actual
desire to know
food.
God and to seek His approval. Within us, we have a strong.
Oh, and if you need me
desire
to pause it,
understand
you
many
just let
deep
me know.
questions, Such as,
Okay.
why are we here? Where do we come from?
What is
What's
hunger?
the meaning of life? These questions can be answered only if we come to know Jehovah God,
How can we trick the courts?
of all life. Jesus emphasized this point in his Sermon on the Mount when he said, "Those hungering and thirsting for righteousness will be satisfied."
Oh, what a good point.
Yes, he likened our need for gaining spiritual understanding to eating and drinking. He also said in the same sermon, "Happy are those conscious of their spiritual need."
Ay, papi. And you can only get your spiritual needs from him and his friends.
So I will say this is what I've realized is that this is basically a spell. They teach them the same
Yes.
thing over and over and over, and that's why most witnesses are brainwashed. Because
Yes.
they're under, like, if you learn the same things every week, you're under a spell.
Yeah, and
They just don't realize it.
and like I don't really believe in hypnosis as such, but it has a hypnotic effect. I will say, like it lulls you into this very complacent, like smiling and nodding, like yes, these are words that make me feel good and remind me of all the things and that are important in my life, and I think that's why I find myself making weird edits of them because I still am mesmerized when I watch these things, but it's now kind of for a different reason. But in
Well,
that
honestly-
slow, languid pace, it's just like it's so inhuman that you really have to lean in.
Because like when I stopped going to meetings, like I felt something like happening with my brain. Like it was just something was, like
Yes.
processing out of my psyche. That's what it felt like.
Yeah, it's like flushing something out of your system almost. Like, and it's not a coincidence, I don't think, that a lot of people's waking up experience comes from they're in a foreign language congregation. Maybe it's even because they're like a missionary or something, but that act of not hearing the language in your native tongue and you're just sitting there at the meeting, you start to realize how weird it is and how it's just not actually that deep, or like it's not hitting your brain the same way, and so it doesn't have the same like hypnotizing effect. I wish I had a better word for that. I think casting a spell is good. That's good. That's less magical and more scientific, I think. Casting a spell.
To them. Appreciating the importance of satisfying our spiritual need helps us understand.
Appreciating the importance of what he's doing right now.
And much more. Feel as if they're dying of thirst while floating at sea.
Oh.
They're surrounded by water, but it is of no use to them. Something seems missing in their lives.
Oh, this I hate it.
Worthwhile and meaningful.
Well, let him finish before I can.
Trying to find what's missing, but to no avail.
To no avail. They avail not. This shit makes me so mad. And now I am cursing, and we had such a respectful stream up to this point.
If you don't want me to curse, I won't.
No, curse away. This
Okay.
I hate this so much because this is exactly what is taught within Jehovah's Witnesses, but it is also just the backbone of evangelical Christianity. It is people are not actually happy. If they had what you had, they would realize that there's actually been this gaping hole in their lives that you need to fill with Jesus or Jehovah or whatever your, religion is, where you have to proselytize and convert people. But that's the only way that they can, it's very important to the manipulation and creating an in-group and an out-group, because the obvious lived reality is that all sorts of people are happy and unhappy all the time, because we all just experience a range of emotions, and nobody, of course there are people who are super depressed, but a lot of people, there are gay married couples who are clearly super happy, and they would not. It's hard to think that they might be happier as a Jehovah's Witness, but if you can convince people that they're not really happy, then it makes sense for the witnesses to stay in the group, and it makes sense to avoid that out group and to question their narrative at all times.
Yeah. I saw Apostate Barbie was in here. I just wanted to say hey.
Hell yeah, Apostate Barbie's in here. We had ExJW Awake. We have the Falling Tower. We've got superstars up in here. Not to mention Ron Pomo. We had
Ron.
We had Miss Usato of avoidjw.org.
Nice.
Please always check out avoidjw.org. That's the only way I'm able to keep informed.
Eventually, many of these ones give up all hope and feel that there is no real purpose to life.
Yes, many.
Often,
so
they
many.
adopt the attitude that the Israelites
Now, he's not going to
displayed
say
in the
how
days
many,
of the prophet
actually.
Isaiah. People in Isaiah's day
The amount of
focused
people
mainly on
who,
physical food and pleasures.
commit suicide due to lack of Jehovah's Witness teachings in their life. Because this is just a nothing statement that you can't ever prove.
Remember what Jesus said to Satan?
Falling Tower. I've watched
Man
plenty of
must
your
live
videos too.
Not on bread
When I was
alone.
looking up.
Oh, hell
He
yeah.
must live on more
I think
than
Falling
physical
Tower
food.
was on the stream the last time I
Not
talked about
just
Jehovah's
to eat
Witnesses.
physical food,
He was
we
just
also
on
need
here.
to live on every word
Yeah.
that comes from Jehovah's mouth. To illustrate, would you choose to fly with a company whose employees just refuel its airplanes, but never do any maintenance work? Of course not. You know that the planes might be fine for a while, but sooner or later, there will be dangerous consequences.
It's so childish. This is so stupid. Why? And they always pick companies and corporations because that's what they are.
Yep.
Ugh. Arg, I say. Arg matey. This is so frustrating.
It's just it's mind numbing. Just
It
listening.
is mind numbing. I feel myself getting, what's the word? Dumber. More stupider.
Taking care of only our physical needs while neglecting our spiritual needs.
We mustn't neglect
Jehovah
them.
gave a special invitation to the Israelites who had a wrong attitude in Isaiah's day.
A wrong attitude, by the way. The right attitude is to never question God for any reason.
Come, all you
Right.
thirsty ones.
Come.
Come to the water. You with no money. Come, buy and eat. Yes, come, buy wine and milk without money. And
Yes.
why do you keep paying out money?
That can't be
for
right.
what
You
is not
talked
right?
about the
And
New
why
Zealand
spend
Royal
earnings
Commission.
for what brings no satisfaction?
We do need to have you on
Listen
again.
intently to me
Come on next
and
week. I
eat
don't have
what is
anyone
good,
booked.
and you will find great delight in what is
Wait, no, I
truly
actually
rich.
do.
What type of food was Jehovah talking about?
But the week after that.
Jehovah is contrasting literal bread with spiritual food.
Ah, yes.
Literal bread can satisfy
actually-
our physical desires.
Literal
but no
bread.
satisfaction comes if we neglect spiritual things.
The way they interpret things
That's
is
why
so
Jehovah
interesting.
says, listen intently to me and eat what is
What would be
good.
the
And by
spiritual
me-
version of wine? He was talking about wine. What's the spiritual version of wine?
Bread.
Yeah.
And airplanes.
It's so ridiculous.
If you fly on spiritual airlines, Spirit Airlines, well, that's confusing because that's considered not a good. I'm going to start over.
Like, it's just. But they do have this thing where if they can formulate an illustration, then that means it's true. Like, you see, we formed a little illustration of this thing we're saying, and because we were able to articulate some hypothetical version of it, that's as good as scripture. Very strange.
And you will find
Yeah.
great delight in what is truly rich.
Happy normal kids living a
So
normal
how can we
life.
summarize what we've discussed so far. Well, basically,
good question.
We need to feed ourselves spiritually every
How can
day.
we summarize this? I've never thought about that before.
Well, there's
This is
nothing
actually
new here.
sped up?
We've heard this.
It is. This is 1.4, and it's really slow, right? Ah! Oh my god. Okay, let's go 1.6.
True. Most of us are already aware of our spiritual needs.
What's going on? Well, now we have to go to 1.0 just to contrast real quick.
But let's discuss for a few minutes some of the problems that may develop without our realizing it.
It's actually hard to talk like that.
Honestly,
Because that's what I would get counseled on as a Jehovah's Witness giving my talks. I would always be told to talk slower. Now I am talking a little fast like right now. I wouldn't
talk
talk
fast
this. I wouldn't talk this fast on a public talk, but I would consciously talk slower. And my grandfather would be like, "No, that's too fast." And I'm like, "You want me to essentially talk like a baby?" I think that's
Right.
why I'm adjusting the volume because it's a little loud for me for some reason, but apparently it's it's differently mixed on YouTube. So that's my bad. I'll turn it back up. But I remember the broadcast in a big way woke me up because a lot of the things that my audio is peaking. Oh, it is kind of. What if I get back a little bit? Is that better? But yeah, just like seeing the slow, weird, robotic way the governing body talks, and it's like, wait, they're supposed to be the best teachers in the world, and this is weird. Like,
don't even get me started on Lo. She's the most boring person I've ever heard. Oh my god.
I think I actually have abolished watching Garrett Loesch on the stream. I've never made a formal declaration to that effect, but that is true. The last time we tried to watch Garrett Loesch, it was dire.
What is 2 + 2? I don't know. Loesch, you tell us what's 2 + 2. Like the
Well,
math illustrations, the way he talks is just
according to Ephesians 2, verse 2, it is, well, my Bible is too small. I can't read this.
Wait,
how
let's
good your
hear.
impressions were.
These problems involve.
You know what? I think that was my
call
first attempt at a Loesch,
eating
really, and I nailed it
disorders.
first try.
What types of spiritual eating disorders might we?
Him saying eating disorders that slow at his normal speed is absolutely absurd. Okay, let's go to 1.8.
The constant
Experience.
illustrations.
We could gradually lose our spiritual appetite.
Now he
We
sounds
could
sped
become
up.
so busy that we neglect to feed ourselves spiritually every day.
And we're going to keep him that
And we
fast.
could be eating,
This
but
talk's
doing
boring
so
as hell.
quickly without getting the proper nutrition. How is your?
But I am
spiritual
learning a
health?
lot about
Do
food.
you consistently feed yourself spiritually every day? Have your study habits become a little routine? Perhaps even forced? Have you become like
You've
those
lost
who
the
gulp down
spark
some
with your
food
personal
because they know
study.
they
You need to
need to eat?
spice it up.
Remember, spirituality is a personal possession, a quality that takes time to cultivate. No one can eat for us. We must do this ourselves. How can we
Don't
strengthen our
encourage
spiritual
me.
appetite? Of course, we know the basic things that will help us: personal study and Bible reading, meetings, preaching,
Spiritual
prayer.
dryness.
But in addition to these basic things,
Yeah.
what else can
I'm still thirsty after watching this talk.
What you
Man, I've
need
never
is a
heard
little
this,
bit
like-
of Loesch to
I've never
spice
heard
things
them
up.
compare spiritual things to food. I've never heard this before. This is
This is new. Nobody
So
told me that
sad.
there was new light this month.
I know. Damn.
Spiritual foof. All right, I'm going to speed up a little bit. Unadulterated milk. I do want to hear him
Mommy.
say
chapter
that.
2 verses 2
Mommy.
and 3?
Mommy, wait a minute. Well, let's hear him say unadulterated milk at normal speed, and then we'll follow that up with an important sound drop.
Born infants, chapter 2 verses 2 and 3.
So slow.
As newborn infants, form a longing for the unadulterated milk of the word, so that by
Hot.
means of it,
Mommy,
you may grow to
when I get
salvation.
out, Call me
provided you have
Sammy.
tasted that the Lord is
Did it keep playing the audio for everyone else too? That was distracting.
Yeah.
Let's get an unadulterated Sammy.
Mommy, when I get out, call me Sammy.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh my God. Tasted that the Lord is kind. I did not like these verses as a witness. I always thought it was a little creepy being like, taste Jehovah so that you know he's good.
Is that consensual? I don't really want
Just
to
give him a little lick. Of course
Sorry,
it is. He's
Jesus.
telling you to do it.
I mean, if it's the Australian Jesus, I might get a little taste.
They are not. Australian Jesus wants you to taste him so that you can see that he's good. That doesn't even make sense.
Yes, we need to develop a longing for spiritual food. Notice how this verse finishes.
A throbbing,
Provided you have tasted that
It's
the Lord is
aching
kind.
for the good news.
We can develop this longing by taking time to enjoy the flavor and the taste
Oh, we
of
love how
rather
much
than
it
mechanically
tastes
reading or
good.
passively listening to spiritual food.
We know he's
We
not
should
missing
take
a
the
meal.
time
Bethel.
needed.
Let me stop.
No, it doesn't. No, and it doesn't make sense. I'm going to argue to listen to spiritual food. I mean, if you're going to really do this analogy, it's got to be eating all the time. Like, oh yeah, I heard some good food. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
So I'd like to pass this to the highest rungs of the Watchtower Society. That earlier stuff we were saying about CSA was kind of important, but this is what I really want to get through to them.
To analyze what we're reading or listening to. A good way to do that is to write down the beautiful thoughts that we
Thank
come
you.
across.
I don't think
while
I've taken
enjoying
any
our
hard
spiritual
positions
food.
in this stream so
Afterwards,
far.
review these notes from time to time. This will
Other
build
than Free
appreciation,
Palestine.
or in other words, help us to form a longing for more spiritual food.
You must,
How
but
sad it would be if someone were to ask us after a meeting or a session of personal study, what delicious points did you find? And for us to reply with a blank, stunned look on our face.
oh my God. Well, now I know what I should have made the thumbnail, but what no doubt is everybody's thumbnail for this month. We have to really examine the tape on this. I wish I had a black and white filter I could put over this while we're examining the tape.
Somebody on my live said you should make a governing body soundbite app.
I really should. I basically every week for the past 5 years I've intended to make a soundboard and just never do because it sounds like too much work. But
Oh, yeah.
that would be good. Form a long. Okay, so there's a lot going on here,
Form a longing for more
and I think we should listen to it at normal speed to make sure we're not missing any of the delicious morsels.
spiritual food. How sad it would be if someone were to ask us
Okay. So first of all, I want to get for the audience, like, here's how he in real life. This is me doing exactly what he did. Like, that would be crazy if I shrugged that slowly, but that's just what he did.
Or in other
have to
words,
make sure people
help us
hear you.
to form a longing for more spiritual
And it's
food.
working because I'm watching it over and over.
How sad it would be if
How
someone
sad it
were
would
to
be.
ask us after a meeting or a session of personal study, what delicious points did you find? And for us to reply
Who's gonna
with,
say that?
And that's the face we're going to want to
What's the
analyze. Wait. I forgot to actually put it back on stream. I'm
Yeah,
so
it's not on
sorry.
there.
And there's even somebody telling me, but this is how single brained I am.
I'm having the privilege of adjusting my own mic.
Now that's humbling, isn't it, for an apostate? Okay, so the sad thing is if somebody were to did the audio come through? If someone were to ask us after a meeting for a delicious, what your favorite delicious point
points
was?
did you find?
Delicious
and for us
points.
to reply with a blank, stunned look on our face.
So here comes the judgment. Like, they're making sure that people study so that it can be talked about after the meeting, or else you're a bad witness.
Yes, and
I bet
also
people don't study anyway. They don't study.
no. But the other signal to Jehovah's Witnesses is that this is the kind of thing that you should be asking people at the meetings. Like, what delicious points did you find, Brother Stevens? Like, that's weird. That's weird. What kind of goody two shoes is like, did you really study for the meeting? Tell me what your favorite thing was in
Right.
Hezekiah this week. Like, that's
So ridiculous.
this man, like, this is the used car salesman charlatan Halloween costume. Like, this is the least trustworthy smile I've ever seen in my life. Like, hey, I don't lie about
Even if
child
we were
sex
to
abuse in
forget,
court.
which happens to all of us, including myself.
Oh,
how
Even
much
he is so
better
humble.
it is for us to look over our notes and be reminded of what gems we've found.
I often think
It's
of how
just
good
like
it would be to look over my notes.
recalling a beautiful meal we enjoyed in the past. We'll want to try it again. Another scripture that
Big
will help
pause.
us to improve our spiritual appetite is 2 Corinthians 4:16.
Did they really watch these?
Therefore, we do not give up.
Dude, I forgot to speed it
Oh,
back up.
boring.
I was falling into the spell from Get Out.
But even if the man we are outside
Like when
is
she
wasting away,
clinks the glass. That
certainly
was
the man we
happening
are
to me.
inside is
Yeah.
being renewed from day
I was
to day.
going into a sunken place
Notice
inside
that
my
we
own
need to
head.
be renewed from day to day. So taking in spiritual food needs to be done daily.
Oh,
Impossible?
yes. Oh.
Let's illustrate. Most of us have a cell phone that we
let's
usually
illustrate.
need to recharge.
Okay, good. So our two from Jesus, one of his closest brothers is an airplane and a cell phone.
At some point during the day, perhaps when we're not working. If we don't recharge the phone, we all know what will happen. It's frustrating when we want to use our phone. and
You
the
are an
battery is dead.
engine that runs on
It can even be dangerous in an
jw.org.
emergency.
You got to
The same
fill
is
it up
true
daily.
when it comes to keeping our spiritual batteries charged.
I don't
So
have
when
to
it's time
get gas
recharge your
daily.
phone, why not ask yourself, have I also recharged myself spiritually today? Deuteronomy 8, verse 3 also helps us to improve our spiritual appetite.
Planned
He humbled
obsolescence.
you,
Then they got to
and
do
let you
new
go
light.
hungry, and fed you with
in a
the
few
manna,
years.
which neither you had known
Yeah.
nor your fathers had known, in order to make you know that man
Is
does
the
not
thing
live
that's interesting in the Jeffrey Jackson talk, or is it later?
Oh, it's later.
All right, because I'm
Yeah,
like,
'cause he
okay,
goes on for a while.
that's enough of this. Wait, there was an interesting word I think I saw. No, it was just sleeplessness.
Yeah.
So exciting, so encouraging. Yeah, it's like I'm seeing it in my head right now. Oh wait, no.
They
Let's
did
watch it.
they
This
redid
dedication
the
program was so
branch in
exciting,
Britain.
so encouraging. We
They
saw
did
people
what?
from all around the world.
They,
Many
like,
of us haven't seen
added
some
a
of our
new
friends for
building in
years,
the
but to see
Britain
them
branch or
here
something.
together to dedicate this
And dedicated it.
Oh,
has been a real
a
privilege for us.
branch dedication.
Yeah.
All of the association and the fun activities have reminded us of
Whoa.
what Jehovah has accomplished here.
They were like doing an
We
Irish
have been
jig.
witnesses to an amazing transformation. Jehovah obviously saw that a project of this nature could really encourage our brothers and sisters.
He
and with his
obviously
spirit,
saw that.
All things are possible.
We took 3 years to clean the site. I mean, the work that went into that was just
So Jehovah, I'm just thinking about this. Jehovah obviously saw that building something this big and cool would be encouraging to Jehovah's Witnesses. And that's why it got done so
Agree.
fast. Just because the
Yeah.
building itself and its existence is encouraging.
hmm Free labor, and then they might sell it later on for billions and give nobody the money.
This
None
is
of the labor.
bananas.
And I thought they were having less Bethelites, so this really makes no sense to me.
I think the more I try and process the way these building projects work and hear about them from ex-members, like LDC types, I mean, it's so much more haphazard than they try and present in these videos. And I feel like even with the Warwick project, they have had to concede a lot of challenges in the videos that they've made, like, because
Right.
it was obviously planned to release earlier than, or not release, but be opened. And it definitely doesn't seem to fit the kind of miraculous stories they like to tell.
tremendous.
And also just nobody
There was
wants
a lot of
it.
asbestos on the site.
Like,
They had to get
we
rid of a
just
lot of waste,
built
household waste,
Warwick
a lot
as
of
Jehovah's
World War II
Witnesses.
airplane tires that were on the site.
Some of the trees on site were over 300 years old.
They're back to the
extra care and
trees!
respect was shown to make
Is
sure
this
they
why
weren't
everyone's
damaged.
excited? Because they
As
know
the
I'll
site
make another
progressed,
edit
we were
about the
able to
trees.
plant a further 1,000 trees.
Because the land was restored, as it were, the wildlife.
Restored, as it were. Brought it right back up.
And it was beautiful because it gave us a glimpse into what the paradise would be like.
But what was
The
even more
animals came
encouraging
back,
to see
so
how
this is what
Jehovah
paradise
used
is gonna
project
look
to
like,
train
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my
thousands of
God.
servants. We were all trained
It
to
was
act
like
as beginners.
Eliza
But from
Thornberry
having
was
never
at
got the key to
Bethel.
our success.
It's just all these miraculous animals were drawn to the construction site.
I feel like Noah building the ark. They're just coming to us.
Or Nigel Thornberry.
Smashing.
Smashing, yeah. I don't remember what he's up. Okay, this guy is talking a little fast for me. Chill out, buddy.
The beards still just irritate me. They irritate me.
You know, it's almost like a white nationalist Amish guy, his look. It's like, or he's a watchmaker in the 1700s. Or like,
It's so British. It's very British.
it's very British, but I really do not like the, is this a high top fade? Is that what they're calling this? Or something?
I guess, yeah. It
What
looks
do we
like
call this? I think it's like the Richard Spencer look, I think it's creepy, and I really don't like this. I don't like this at all. It reminds me of the Ezra Klein beard, which I also don't like.
So helped us make different
That guy was
styles that we
better
probably
before
would
the
never
beard. The
have made
beard did
otherwise,
something
and we've never stopped
bad to
since.
him. He turned into evil Abed.
Really helped to build my faith in knowing that whatever we give up for Jehovah, he gives back so much more.
What did you give up? That's the question.
Yeah,
did you give
that
up a
doesn't.
well-paying job?
Did you give up a job and money? Did you lose a great deal of your own personal funds because like you took time off work to go volunteer at this construction project? Like, what is he giving back? Just friendship and videos?
My great aunt had a house in the islands that she gave to the witnesses. It was like in like St. John or something. I was like, you kidding?
Oh,
that could have been in the family, but no, she gave it to the witnesses. Great.
That is.
And maintain peace and unity on the site.
I hate
every
that.
minute. It was hard work, but the people you meet and everyone's there with a common goal. It was a special time.
So now knowing how many avenues are available in full-time service, it's really, really open my eyes.
I only make mean comments about the men. Even if we have thoughts about what people's outfits look like. There's
I was
no
keeping
point.
my mouth shut.
I was like, there's an avenue we could go down here. We could talk about woodland elves and things, but we don't have to talk about the canceled Guillermo del Toro Hobbit film. We don't have to talk about
She
that.
definitely gets a haircut at Bethel, but I'm
Gets her haircut at Bethel is devastating. That's ruthless. This guy is like plastic knife face is
The
hilarious.
kindness, the good sense of humor of the Bethel family.
The good sense. They hired Kenneth Cook to talk about his famously good sense of humor.
Oh, Lord.
Well, I mean, they couldn't have it. Anthony Morris. He was the only guy that was actually funny.
Yeah.
Work.
Huh.
That's evident in what everyone is doing here. This is a beautiful.
I hate this closed captioning thing. Like, I kind of need it, but I need to see. A big part of this to me is the dead eyes that we may or may not be seeing right here. And
kindness, the good sense of humor,
especially
of
in
the
Kenneth
Bethel family.
Cook. Nothing going on here.
The hard work. That's evident in what everyone is doing here. This is a beautiful, practical site.
What I
that will
hate
really
is
help
seeing
the,
him with that beard and
Bethel
being like,
family to accomplish the work here in this
good.
It's like he can get it. I literally was like, God damn it, he looks amazing. God damn it, he looks great. Robert Lucioni, you're always welcome on the channel.
As long as you have the beard. Without the beard, not so much.
But you're never gonna get that governing body job. You're too charismatic. You see the kind of guys they're putting on, and it's this.
Mm-hmm.
They want this. You are a threat, and this is obviously completely acceptable.
Oh yeah.
Speaking of devastating,
to accomplish the work here in this ranch territory.
When we look at the buildings, we see something beautiful. But behind it, we see the love.
When we look at the buildings, we see something beautiful. These are beautiful, right, everybody?
No wonder Jehovah blessed this project.
Oh, and it's very multicultural and not creepy and white supremacist.
The attached Kingdom Hall.
That was haunting. That image.
To dedicate this branch office and
look at this shit. This is 1984. Just a man with himself, like three screens of himself, and just these like perfectly symmetrical. Oh, and look at everyone's heads pointing down. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
I need to take a screenshot of this so I remember to think about it later. Just let that think about what I'm seeing here.
will add the attached Kingdom Hall property to Jehovah God to be used exclusively for his praise and glory.
Kenny Cookie,
and
indeed.
To promote his pure worship in your.
Oh, and he has a camera of himself. Why does he have that? Just so he can check himself out.
It's kind of like a wedding. It's not the end of something; it's the beginning of something.
He's the only one that I like.
Over this
Seems
time.
down to earth.
What's next?
Oh, you're
What's gonna be
crazy.
accomplished in the next-
I think you're talking about Mark Sandys.
Yeah.
I think this is the slimiest one of them all.
Really?
I think
And
this
I
is
was-
like, yeah.
I was
don't know.
partial to him too because he was like studying Russian, and I was like trying to join the Russian group, but his Russian's not that good.
Christina was in a Russian group for a while.
Oh, that's cool.
That's his Russian wasn't that good.
No,
That's
from
amazing.
the sound, like he probably knew more words than I did, but the pronunciation was awful.
I believe it. He has exactly one voice, and it's the whitest voice of all time. And that's coming from me. This, I think this guy is the biggest weasel, just because to me, he seems like
a wedding.
conniving.
It's not the end of something, it's the beginning of something. We look at what's already been accomplished over this time. What's next? And what's going to be accomplished in the next 5 and 10 years? Whatever Jehovah allows, it'll be exciting to see.
What makes it extra encouraging?
No, they're going to hang on to it for like 5 or 10 years.
I mean, the whole organization.
When there is a building work beyond imagination yet ahead. Jehovah did in a small piece of land here in England what he's going to do around the entire earth. And this just shows what's possible and what we have to look forward to.
Oh, right. They're in England. So yeah, they definitely will sell this sooner rather than later.
From all this building we've been doing. The answer, people.
Now, they're going to ride out the economic crisis before they sell that.
We're delighted to have branches all over the earth that enable us to carry out our commission.
It is delightful to have branch offices, is it
someone
not?
learns the truth and makes changes.
Sometimes you just got to think about what these guys are saying.
It brings us great joy.
What are they using it for, though? Because they're
Nigel
producing less
Baker
publications.
was
So
just
I'm curious what it's for.
He needed Bible
That's a
truth
great
to help him.
question. That's a great question. Say that again in case people didn't hear it because of Jeffrey
Like
Jackson.
they're producing less publications. They're wanting less Bethelites. Why make a whole new building? For what?
Yes, like they are making more video content, but like, I mean, are they really? They've been making about the same amount of video content for the past like 5 to 10 years, and they do have this new facility at Warwick, and it already has all this stuff. I mean, it's just they never successfully sold this to the group, and then they chastised them for doubting it.
Right.
And I don't know. Maybe I'm projecting because I'm now out of the group, but I just remember real excitement about Warwick as a member. Like, I was very excited to volunteer at it. It felt important for whatever reason. I think because it felt like, ooh, we're preparing for the end. But this project is just like, I think coming after COVID is a bit of a problem for them. And also, it feels like they just got done with this other one. And it feels like an admission that the end is not soon.
That's what I'm saying, because they're building like that production one in the other part of New York. They're not even close to done with that. So I'm like, how are they funding this? They have to pay for all these lawsuits, and there's less members. So who's funding all this?
I know. I think they get a more money than people think from
real estate,
like people dying, like witnesses dying, and giving their estate, their property and stuff. That happens like all the time.
Oh,
Good
true.
quote. One often has a curious feeling that one is not watching a live human being, but some kind of dummy, a feeling which suddenly becomes stronger at moments when the light catches the speaker's spectacles and turns them into blank discs, which seem to have no eyes behind them. George Orwell. Incredible. If we could give Erase today a super chat, we would, but that's physically and technologically impossible.
Break free from what he describes.
Modern
as a
technology
cycle
has
of
no
violence.
ability to do that.
Growing up, and my dad would come home and
Is this real or fake?
beat mum up.
This
Beat
is
us
the
all
real
up.
one.
Okay.
When he
Supposedly.
was off the drink, he's a good man, but he drank so much.
Okay, I mean, not to keep plugging my own channel or anything, but I made a video about like the recipe to these videos, and they're, like all these experiences are exactly the same. Like they come from a violent, belligerent, drunk household.
Growing
That's
up,
so common.
my dad would come home and
1 out of every 3
beat mum up. Beat us all
lessons
up.
from Jehovah videos or
When he was
whatever
off
they're
the
called.
drink, good man, but he drank so much.
So much drink he
I just
did.
Hope Jehovah would take it away.
Take away the drink,
Mum would love
Jehovah.
us, and she taught us about Jehovah. But as I got older, the only way that I thought I could deal with it is to take it into my own
That is
hands
a cool
and,
picture.
you know,
Those like
turned,
that 1970s photos just always look kind of cool.
17, just on 18.
Totally normal,
I got a job,
unflattering
something like
picture, and I'm like, it's actually kind of rad.
I was really fearful of any sort of conflict.
I know, like it does feel like Mad
There's
Libs fill in the
protection
blank.
mode
They're all
every day.
exactly the same kind of
My
experience.
goal
I think
at
that's
time was
part
to
of the.
build a reputation of.
Is this important?
being,
Because I don't feel like listening to it.
I can summarize it.
Oh no! I can watch it. I was gonna
way of protecting
say
myself.
something, and then I forgot.
I spent many years.
Oh wow!
studying
I want to see
different
this
techniques in violent sports.
gang guy
I
he
trained
becomes.
every
Whoa!
day. If I didn't train, I felt like I was getting weak.
Well, I mean that's physically
I ended
true.
up getting employment, nightclub doors. It wasn't uncommon to have 3 or 4 fights, more throwing people out each night I worked. After I had a fight,
That's rad. I've always wanted
I
to do
felt good,
boxing.
But inside, I felt bad. I really did.
That's my thing. Like
Because
I'm always
sometimes,
like when I become a millionaire, like
you've done some damage.
that would be something I would do is like boxing lessons or
violence
whatever.
and greed
Okay.
just kept growing. I could even drive uptown and someone looked at me in a way that I thought was wrong. It would make me angry. With violence,
they wouldn't lock me when
there
I'm
was all
angry.
sorts of no good people that you come across. Others wanted to gang up on me, and I thought, well, if I train people and get them with me, they would have my back if something happened. I started to feel really confident.
His story is
and,
confusing.
had a bravado about myself, and it really made me feel that I could stand up to anyone. And then I got a call. My mum ended up going into the intensive care unit. I didn't think we were going to lose her.
I tried to stand up to her, but she overpowered me.
It really made me sit back and think,
No,
well,
sorry, I shouldn't be
what have you
mean
done with your life?
about this.
Felt really, really bad, the person I become. Many occasions, my temper got the best of me.
Always with the temper.
I hurt a lot of people. That includes my family. And to this day, I'm still so.
My family's angry at me.
I felt sorry. I wanted to do the right thing.
I think that they should be careful with releasing quite so many videos about how many violently angry men are joining the cult. Like at an unprecedented scale, violent guys are joining the group and claiming to be totally fixed. And also, we don't let women get divorced for domestic violence without social consequences.
Because they didn't say why his mother was in the intensive care unit. I'm like, why?
Wait, you're right. I was so confused. I just was like, this is a fucking confusing video, but you're right. They're talking around this. I mean, I did a whole video about this because I think it's one of the most important things that it does not get widespread attention. I mean, witnesses in general still don't get as much like negative media or critical coverage as other groups, but they have a real domestic violence problem because like a lot of religions that are like this, where women are second-class citizens and are seen as weaker vessels, and the man is the headship of the house, it traps them in domestic abuse situations, and they are explicitly told in the publications that they should, just try and win him over by being a good Jehovah's Witness. And you can, like within the group, you can separate, but not without like social consequences, and you're not allowed to get divorced. And if you do, you would, you'd get in trouble. So I'm not trying to say that people can't change. I'm starting to worry the baby doesn't believe that people can change. No, I think it's great. If this guy used to be a horrible person who almost killed his own mom, Jesus Christ.
Well, no, I think it could have been the dad. And they
dad.
They left that part out because the dad was the abuser. And I'm like, yeah. I knew someone personally, like when we left Jersey, she was in a similar situation where her husband was an unbeliever and he was abusive. I didn't know this, but the woman was really sweet. Turns out, I read in the news, he murdered her in their old age, like strangled her to death because she couldn't get divorced from this abusive man. I'm like, this religion hides the fact that they protect abusers of any kind.
Yes.
And then pat themselves on the back for fixing people. You're not helping anyone. You're hiding abusers.
Yes. Mr. Sato says one of the biggest problems, and they know it, Denmark blasted them about the domestic violence last year. That's very interesting. I mean, I think that it's just easy to overlook this because the way that they present it is like you said, that they're former domestic abusers. And the way that they present it in videos like this is that, no, you don't understand. Only worldly people beat their wives, not Jehovah's Witness men. So maybe they were that way before they had Jehovah, but not our elders and servants, which just isn't true. And then they kind of know true Scotsmen, any abusive men, like, well, then they weren't really a Jehovah's Witness if they were acting like that. So they just never take responsibility. Oh, no, a sister in your hometown got murdered by her unbelieving husband.
Wow.
Unbelieving husbands need to do better. Good Lord. My stepfather was physically and verbally abusive to me and my siblings from my mom's first marriage. I'm so sorry, Queen of Flatulence. That's awful.
Yeah.
Hey, I had a family member who was an alcoholic and violent. The elders sure wagged their collective finger at him. Yeah, that's never going in the JW FAQ as reasons to leave the organization. Yeah. So this is pretty shocking.
For a long time, I didn't know what to do.
There's also like it's normalized within the religion.
About 3 years later, had to have a major operation. 2 orthopedic surgeons. They said you have a 10-hour operation. You'll need 4 to 5 bags of blood.
Oh, fuck this! They're really hitting all my trigger points here.
A commandment to stay away from blood. I thought, well, will I die?
I knew that was true.
I thought about Mum in her deathbed, not being frightened. She knew that Jehovah promised her a resurrection.
Oh, fuck off!
I knew in deep inside me where there was
disgusting
safety and protection.
There's no reason to do this.
If you would have died, you wouldn't be saying that.
Yeah, that's
Hello.
That's what's fucking disturbing about this. Is I mean, that truly is. The people who survive are the only ones who can tell their stories. And they just don't talk about all the people, the thousands of people a year who are martyrs for this religion. And, you know, it's obvious that they don't change it because they fear lawsuits. I mean, it doesn't make any sense with their own beliefs, and people die. And it's completely absurd. Like, to me, it's like, not to get political, which I rarely ever do on this channel, but it's like the RFK Jr. people who are like, you know, it's not just that you're wrong, it's that you're gonna kill people. Like
they already have.
Yeah, so many people.
Measles outbreaks and the listeria and all these food problems.
Diseases we had wiped out come back and kill people, and so it's like your freedom of speech, to me, in freedom of religion, ends when real world harm starts.
Right.
And so that's why, like, the blood transfusion thing is unacceptable, the proliferation of CSA and domestic abuse. And yeah, it's really, really gross. I wish that they hadn't made this video, but that was just my little... Sorry for mentioning RFK.
It's difficult not to take sides in politics. It's very difficult because we are aware of the issues.
It's just tough when you're informed like me and aware of the issues.
Over, show your hand, please help me to come back to you. I want to. After the operation, brothers knocked on the door and I started to study. I was
for refusing blood and unnecessarily risking his own life. He was rewarded with a knock on the door by Jehovah's Witnesses.
Psalm 56, verse 3 and 4 reads, "When I'm afraid, I put my trust in you."
I wonder if they were visiting because this guy who was a witness was in the hospital. And they knew that he would be in a space where they could potentially rope him back into the religion.
Sometimes I'm challenged to do things that could bring back an old attitude. I just pray to Jehovah quickly. His protection is there. Doesn't jump out and say, well, I'll take the fight up for you. You just feel a different
then that's not there, is it?
I can certainly say that my family noticed the dramatic changes. They saw things in me that...
Oh, they noticed the lack of violence anymore, eh?
I don't have this
when he's literally down,
pretense anymore that I have to protect myself. Jehovah protects us.
He doesn't prevent these things from happening. That's just a lie. Like, he literally said 5 seconds earlier that's like, now Jehovah's not going to fight for us. Well, it's like, well, then he's not... What are you talking about then?
All Christians do that, though. They pick and choose what God
does. They do. Like, Jehovah's Witnesses will be like, oh, those... You know, Protestants believe that God can cure cancer, but then they believe that God will magically let you survive your surgery because you took a stand for blood, or, you know, if you are healed or anything good does happen to you, you credit God for that. So it's just arbitrary where you draw these lines. It's all magical thinking that's not based in reality.
I made a video suggesting people stop lying, and a lady was like, "God save, God will protect us." I'm like, what are you saying? If you choose to fly and you don't have enough people protecting the flights, you're gonna die. Give me a break.
Yeah. Like I hate that shit.
It's so
weird. Wow. Another one of my favorite guys, John Ekron's coming up, it seems. Oh, is this the thing that people are annoyed about?
No.
Wow.
I skipped that.
How are you doing on time?
Oh, I don't have any plans. You're
good? Okay, cool.
Eager to learn? As eager as you were when you first learned the truth?
It's not learning if you're just hearing the same things over and over.
Will show us how.
That's not what learning is.
Let's read our scripture text, Acts chapter 4 and verse 13 in its entirety.
Aye, Papi. Okay, well, I'll just mute him when he's reading the scripture. I will say, like, I think the greatest gift of deconstructing and, like, realizing that I was in a high control group and realizing, like, how fucking ignorant I was about stuff because I lived in this bubble, it made me realize, like, oh, I do like learning. I wasn't learning at the meetings. My brain wasn't being stimulated.
Right.
And it made me that's the reason why I like to make researchy videos, is because I tried to sustain that momentum of just doing a lot of research when I was deconstructing. But I think that they provide this very hollow simulacrum of learning where you're just kind of quoting stuff that sounds scholarly, all to support the conclusion that you have to take, which is that Jehovah's Witnesses are true and you're not allowed to leave no matter what.
Right.
And you're wrong to question it.
Yeah, or even the Bible itself. Like,
yeah,
the Bible is limited also. So there's only so much you can learn from it.
Or the governing body, or any single one of its teachings, really.
They had been to a much better school, the one Jesus was teaching them, and they learned from him. Well, what can we learn from the example
divine
of
education?
Jesus' apostles
so
and
much
disciples?
better than college.
They were teachable. Now, to be teachable.
Oh my God!
Means
Yes,
to have a
masterpiece,
or
by the way.
readiness to learn or receive instruction.
I didn't say this, but I've been setting aside some good comments that we'll catch up on after maybe this talk as a break for our sanity. Also, see GoFundMe in description. Okay, bye.
And being teachable is really
by
an
bye. I
important
mean, I'm going to keep
quality
watching
for
it.
all of us to have.
So
It allows us
stay
to learn from others,
complacent,
improve our skills,
and docile,
knowledge,
and
so
humble,
that
and
these
adapt to changing
fucking
situations.
puppeteers can mold you
Let's
into.
consider a few qualities that are
puppet.
very helpful for being teachable. First of all, let's consider the quality of being humble.
There it is.
Let's look at Proverbs chapter 15 and verse 33.
Now, I've said this many times, but when they say humility, they mean subservience.
Right.
They just mean don't question anything we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not humility.
No.
That's actually the opposite, because this guy right here, you're not allowed to question him as a Jehovah's Witness. Otherwise, you'll get in trouble. And that's not humble.
Are you
at
an
all.
adult with your own mind? Don't use it. Be humble.
Yeah. Their need to pry into every sexual, intimate detail of your life and who you love and what you do with your free time, that's not humble. That's creepy and controlling and obsessive. And, you're not allowed to have your own personal interpretation of scripture. You're not allowed to think that the group might be wrong. If you're not allowed to think that you're wrong, that's haughtiness.
Mm-hmm.
On this channel, I embrace that I'm a dumb shit, and I think we're all pretty much dumb shits at various points in our learning journey.
And even if we...
Sorry. I missed some important context.
And before glory, there's humility. See the connection there between getting
thanks,
trained
QC man.
and humility? It's hard to learn when you have the attitude of, I know. And even if we think we know, listen carefully when someone is trying to teach you something. You might be surprised and actually learn something. Pride often can keep us from learning. We don't want to admit to others that we don't know something, or that we didn't understand it the very first time they said it. Here's another quality: eager to learn.
Maybe
Let's
be
look at Psalm
specific.
143 and verse 5.
It's a little vague. What are you talking about?
Ponder over Jehovah's word.
Eagerly ponder.
See, learning is enjoyable. Now, it's true that learning takes
Not in the
mental
Jehovah's
effort
Witness religion.
and work.
No, it's not.
But
That's
the
why they have to
reward
tell you that it's
of learning a
enjoyable,
subject
because it
about-
isn't
or learning something of practical
self-evidently
value to
enjoyable.
your work assignment,
You have to
your
tell
ministry,
yourself,
or
I'm
your
enjoying
understanding
this.
of the Bible
Yes.
is certainly worth it. Instead of looking
Ooh.
at learning or studying
You
as
know
something to
what?
be avoided,
Excuse me.
It just might be time, folks, for us to take a surprise little peach break. Hello, Peachy.
Hello.
Hello, doggy. We
Cute.
love you when you bring us life and joy, and you make me realize that some things in this world are just pure.
Peaches, 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 peaches.
She's currently shitting on my hand. No. All right, baby. You have anything to say? Oh, thank you. That was great. We love peaches. I forgot. Danny, ExJW Caleb, made this amazing clip. It's in a video of mine, but I need to make it into a sound drop for the peach break.
Yeah.
Okay. Yay, there's our guy. Wait, no, I liked that other layout better.
we should cultivate the attitude of being eager to learn.
To just be
and
like,
looking
oh,
for
okay,
opportunities
yes, good,
to learn from
right,
others.
good.
Another quality is asking questions. We can see an example of that in John chapter 16.
Wait, I
and verse
forgot.
17.
I forgot to thank Jehovah for our spiritual paradise, which is full of so many harmless animals.
Our spiritual paradise is a place that has many harmless animals.
Now, what do we mean by this?
And I never do know what that
Jesus
means.
was speaking here, and he said something that his disciples didn't quite understand. So in verse 17, it says that some of his disciples said to one another, "What does he mean by saying to us,
He said, Lord, what does hunger mean? Can you
in a
explain
little
it?
while you will see me, and because I'm going to the Father." They were saying, what does he mean by saying a little while? We don't know what he's talking about.
And Jesus said, okay, so imagine an airplane, and you're getting your luggage.
Now Jesus observed this. Then he says, Jesus knew they wanted to question him. So he said to them, "Are you asking one another this because I said?" Jesus was basically telling them, why didn't you just ask me the question? If you have a question, ask me. So ask questions when we don't understand. Silence says to a teacher that you know.
No, this is
questions when you don't understand. That's so novel. Wow.
great advice, and also a complete lie, because if you ask questions, if you don't come to the conclusion that Watchtower has preordained, then you're going to get in trouble. Like
Exactly.
if you can ask questions, but you have to end up conceding that this is the truth and it must be right, and I just don't understand this, so Jehovah help me understand this, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh God, there's a whole channel for spiritual pandas, and he's too famous, so I don't give him any attention.
Why do we need to ask questions? Because later,
I'm just
people
kidding.
will as the training gets more complex, you're likely going to get lost. Yes, it's true. By asking questions, you may appear that you didn't get it the first time. But isn't that better?
The first
than
time.
saying and
So that's
acting
why
like
we
you understand
repeat
it when you
are
don't?
the same stuff every month,
Frankly,
because
you may
maybe
not
you'll
be the
get
only
it this
one with
time.
questions.
Dummy.
Others will appreciate the answers. How many times in the scriptures do we appreciate Peter asking questions and we still benefit from Jesus' answers today? Another quality is applying direction.
Oh
In
my
Matthew chapter
God.
10,
So again, just be subservient and act the way we tell you to act, because they
Right.
mean applying the direction that you are given from the governing
and
body.
in verse 7, Jesus was giving his apostles instructions on how they should handle the ministry. In verse 7, he gives them the theme, the kingdom of the heavens has drawn near. And in verse 8, he said, to make sure that we received free gift free, that they weren't to charge money for it. In verse 19, he explained to them what to do when they get threatened in the ministry.
Whoa.
Clearly, they applied those instructions and did exactly what Jesus had taught them, so much so that others, including the religious leaders, could recognize that they had been with Jesus. And in verse 25, he says as much to his disciples.
trying to figure out what he's
It is
talking
enough
about
for the student to become as his teacher. And they truly had become as their teacher.
Ah, so just act exactly like us, like a little robot.
So I was reading Crisis of Conscience yesterday, and basically, like, the conclusion I came to, Russell was an apostate. This whole religion is made by an apostate, and he was able to challenge the Adventist beliefs that he believed in, and then make a whole new religion. And that's what they think we're trying to do. I'm like, I'm not trying to make a new religion. I just don't believe in this.
Right.
I'm using my brain, my own brain.
That's a very important part of that book for me, like realizing that, oh yeah, like Jesus was an apostate, Russell was an apostate, like they went against the religious teachers of the time. And that's what In Search of Christian Freedom by Raymond France is about, is that cycle and kind of struggling with, he was somebody, and I'm an agnostic atheist, but
yes.
Same for you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Besties.
Yeah.
Twinning.
Yep.
Sorry. So he wants to be a Christian, but because he was a governing body member, recognizes the cycle that happens where people, even if they have good intentions, inevitably create these domineering high control groups that end up causing harm. So is it actually possible to be a Christian? And, I don't agree with his conclusion, but it's interesting to hear him reason it out.
Like, to me, it's like, how dare you come up with something, your own organization? And he was young too when he started doing this. He was like 19, 20, I think.
Yeah.
And then he does this. His dad joins him. His dad doesn't shun him and cut him off. He joins him in this new venture trying to find Bible students. And then they decide that this is the ultimate truth. No, you don't get to do that after you've done your own research. Like, give me a break.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, so why is Jesus proud? That's what we're going to learn next.
Can you imagine how proud Jesus was of them when he saw them applying what he had taught them in the ministry?
We do have to imagine it, because the Bible
Accepting
doesn't say
responsibility.
that happens.
When someone points out a mistake we've made or a better way, how do we react? When Jesus corrected Peter, he took responsibility for his actions.
Hey, that
And
thing
he
Jeffrey
learned.
Jackson doesn't
As
do.
lifelong students, we're never going to stop learning, and mistakes are part of the learning process. If we're kind of like Teflon students, where no mistakes ever stick to us, we're not going to learn, but likely going to make the same
Was that
mistakes
a
again.
veiled reference to
Because we have
Teflon
the
Trump?
attitude that we don't make mistakes, or at least we don't want other people to think that we make mistakes. So let's just briefly review.
In a religion full of
Qualities that
judgment,
make us teachable.
it's kind of hard to admit you
Humble,
mistakes.
eager to learn, ask
This
questions.
is the inherent contradiction that creates the cognitive dissonance of trying to hold two ideas in your head at the same time. Is it's like you are not supposed to be critical of others. You're supposed to be very forgiving and loving and not focus on others' mistakes. But also, when you do notice someone else's mistake, point it out to them. And that person is not allowed to have a problem with it. And if someone points out your mistake, you just have to roll over and take it. And like those are two different things. Obviously, in real life, you just have to kind of balance those two instincts. But here, it's like
religion can't make any mistakes, even though it's full of imperfect people. But you can make all the mistakes.
It's exactly what we were talking about earlier in our interview. Like the impossible standard creates people who simply aren't honest about their mistakes. Are we to believe that John Ekron never spanks his little weenie?
Apply direction.
I think he does. I think he does, and he's lying
there are
about
many
it.
more qualities that we could discuss, being meekness, attentive listening, curiosity, perseverance. Can you imagine what it would be like to talk to a human being who is a million years
No.
old?
Russell was much more
Can you imagine
conciliatory,
all that they had
at
learned
least
in that time, all the
as in the early
experiences that
ministry.
they had had?
Towards the end of his life,
You can be that person.
started
a million years from
becoming
now.
more
We are forever
more like
going to be
modern
students
Watchtower.
of Jehovah, and there will always be more to learn.
But there isn't. There's
Romans
like a
chapter
set
11 and verse 33 says it
pool
nicely
of things you can learn as a Jehovah's Witness, and then you're just
about Jehovah.
recycling.
Romans 11:33. Oh, the depth of God's riches and wisdom and knowledge, how unsearchable his judgments are, and beyond tracing out his ways are. Yes, no matter how much we know, it certainly should humble us to realize that there's no limit to what we can learn from Jehovah, his works and his ways.
There is.
We are
There's-
all going to be lifelong students.
I think
so
I've
we can
pretty much
start
learned it all
now
at this point.
to enjoy
'Cause I feel like I've heard this talk 9,000
Study and learn
times.
from God's word, his creative works, the mathematics, physics,
recipe,
chemistry,
just
and
slightly
biology
different.
of life around us.
Oh, yes. Physics and chemistry and biology are all Jehovah's Witnesses ever talk about.
Lord.
They have such respect for those fields of science. Good Lord.
The possibility of learning is endless. Every day you can think to yourself,
But not evolution. Don't
class
learn
is
about
in
that
session.
ever.
What can I learn from Jehovah today?
There's so much to learn from Jehovah
Great,
and about him.
great talk.
When we're teachable, hungry, and dig
Oh.
for practical gems in the Bible, we learn to.
We're really mixing our metaphors. We're teachable, we're hungry, and we're digging. And that's good. This is just like the plot of Holes. Just like tired, hungry children who like are thanking God when they find an onion.
Imitate our God. Notice how Jehovah encourages us
in a
to treat
can.
others in the following episode of
Stanley
Eat the
Yelnats, we
Treasures.
remember.
Okay, so this is the video that people are having problems with.
Oh, really?
It's
Oh,
towards the
God.
end of it, but yeah,
Okay,
it's-
okay. Is it? Do I have to learn about the Bible?
The book of Obadiah is so short. It's easy to
So I don't
overlook,
remember any of
but
my
there's
Bible
so much in
research.
here.
I'm glad we're slowing
It's
down
all
to
been
pull some
replaced.
treasures out for family worship.
Yeah, me too. Something I've shared with people looking to dig deeper are the study tips on the back of the Watchtower, like this one from February 2024. It mentions things like determine who wrote the passage, to whom, and when, but also what were the circumstances.
Lie. Big lie.
Dig deeper. We've known about how to do research for years. They act like this is so new.
We
But
have
I think the thing is,
known-
most people don't do this. They don't do research.
Yeah, and this isn't research. It's a like a simulated version of research where you're just it would be like doing research on conservative Wikipedia, whatever that is. Queen Coke Francis has a good video about that. Shout out.
Okay.
You're taking this pre-selected body of information, and you're allowed to pull from that and only that.
Right.
And if you were to do any research critically about the organization that wasn't from a Watchtower sanctioned source, or if you were to start believing a different interpretation of the Bible based on other scholarship you read, then phrase of the day, you'd get in trouble.
Excuse me.
I'm saying get in trouble because I'm like, sometimes I'll say you'll get disfellowshipped, and then someone's like, that's removed, and then someone's like, well, you can also get marked or reproved, or you can get. And I'm like, I know, we all understand what I'm saying.
So helpful. So
There are
what can we
consequences.
say about Obadiah's circumstances?
I'm just in an argument with one commenter
speaks
from a
about the
month
time
ago
period when
in my head.
strangers took Judah's army into captivity, and when foreigners entered the gates casting lots over Jerusalem. That was
I'm still amazed at how much more I'm able to read after leaving the witnesses. Like because I'm a slow reader and I'm ADHD. But when I think back to when I was a witness and so much of my like free time had to be reading this shit, I'm still always amazed at how much more free time I have now. Like personal study, just using that to do enjoyable, like fun research or reading for myself. That's really fun. And then meeting nights and ministry and service, and all you're doing is repeating the same exact things over and over again. People are saying, hi, Brandon. Is Joe Biden in the chat? Just kidding. I know it's for some reason it's mean to call him that.
BCE. Here, take a look at this timeline. Jehovah had sent so many messengers to Israel begging them to stop their wrongdoing.
All of them
repent,
white.
And worship him acceptably.
Look at that. For centuries.
100%.
No real effort to change.
100%
So in
Caucasian.
607 BCE, Jehovah uses the
I click
Babylonians to
around
severely
nervously. It's like a
discipline the
nervous
leader of
tick. I
the
need a
people.
fidget
They
spinner
really
over
left
here.
him no choice.
It was completely justified. But then Edom shows up.
Is
Even
there a
though they defended the
911 for fidget
Israelites,
spinners?
Verse 14 mentions that the Edomites stood at the crossroads and captured the fleeing Israelites to turn them back over to the Babylonians.
Okay.
Jehovah hadn't authorized them to be part of his discipline.
Can you imagine being an Israelite back then? You somehow escaped the Babylonians, only to be captured by your extended family, the Edomites, your own relatives.
I can't imagine. It's just so cruel.
What?
I wonder if the Israelites began to think this mistreatment was actually part of Jehovah's discipline.
Mistreatment can warp our thinking. What about Obadiah himself?
What?
Was anyone he was close to captured or killed because of the Edomites? Did he begin to wonder if Jehovah was behind it?
It must have been such
one
a
where they got
relief
into his
for
role.
Obadiah to receive this prophecy.
Oh,
from
he didn't
God.
push her that hard.
What? This is weird. Okay, so
The wigs are hilarious.
they are. Is it important that I understand their logic here? Because I'm
Not really. No,
struggling a
not-
little bit. I'm like, well,
Actually part of Jehovah's
Yeah.
discipline.
Mistreatment can.
oh, so she's bruised. I'm glad I slowed it down. Okay,
No, I think
so
she's just dirty from traveling. I think that they
oh,
were escaping Jerusalem.
for a second I thought, oh, are they calling back to like the domestic violence video thing and saying that she was being mistreated?
No, they
What
were
about
fleeing from the
Obadiah
Babylonians and then the
himself?
Edomites.
Was anyone he was close to captured or killed because of the Edomites? Did he begin to wonder if Jehovah was behind it?
It must have been
Absolutely.
such a relief.
We did talk
for
about
Obadiah
this
to
during the
receive this
Jordan interview
prophecy from
section.
Jehovah, reassuring him that Jehovah is never the source.
I will
of
definitely add
injustice.
timestamps to this one.
But let's go deeper and ask another question. When? The
Great
when of
question.
Obadiah is one of the reasons this prophecy is so beautiful.
And you must believe a lie because basically all of their dates for when the books of the Bible were written are totally wrong.
Yeah, I noticed that. I saw it in Encyclopedia Britannica. Like the Babylonians didn't destroy it in 607. I was like, what? Oh,
Right.
I mean, the Encyclopedia Britannica is not going to lie, so somebody's wrong.
Yeah, exactly. Like this for people in the chat, famously, Jehovah's Witnesses have this weird thing where they believe that Babylon was destroyed in 607 BCE. It's just totally wrong, but it's because they use their Bible math to add up to 1914.
Yeah.
It's basically like a mistake that Russell made. And so they keep on retconning stuff, but they have to latch on to this date for a very weird, arbitrary reason, even though it's just wrong and no scholars agree with them.
So in 607 BCE, the Israelites were unrepentant, and Jehovah justly disciplines them.
Justly
But
disciplined
Edom
them.
treats Israel cruelly. When does Jehovah act and inspire Obadiah to condemn them? Not long after the destruction. About 6.
You might be able to imagine how teachings like this would embolden domestic abusers, the idea that there is such a thing as righteous violence and that some people deserve to be punished. Like, I think that's why these apocalyptic groups and like Old Testament, there's going to be a violent destruction where I get to be like, neener, neener, neener. I
Right.
told you I was right. Like, it is kind of a violent fantasy.
Yeah.
We're just talking
So
about
7 BCE.
a lot of violence today,
Even though Israel
unfortunately.
was receiving discipline.
Jehovah hadn't turned his back on the Israelites.
No.
No, he did that later, dummy.
Them that he had not abandoned them.
He
and
did
that
by
he was
now.
Not the cause of Edom's
He just let a lot of them
actions.
die, you know.
To Jehovah, the Israelites deserve discipline. But
He, at
not
some point,
injustice.
kind of
They
did a
deserve
slow
correction,
breakup,
but
like a
not
quiet
cruelty.
quitting with the Israelites, and became the God of Christians for one century only, and then he was non-denominational for long time, hundreds and hundreds of years, and then once again became active with Charles Hayes Russell.
Yeah.
That's just
And
Jehovah's
Jehovah
Ark
tells
so
the
far.
Israelites in verses 19 to 21 that they are not only going to come back and expand their territory, but that the kingship would become Jehovah's.
The hell are
He
you
gives
people
them
talking
something
about?
to focus on during their discipline, the future kingdom under the Messiah.
This is bizarre. Is this not like total like North Korean propaganda images?
To me, it's just like the whole thing is them just making excuses for God's like treatment of people, like Christians always do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
irritating.
excusing God's many documented misdeeds in the Bible and also excusing his
Isn't that beautiful?
absence.
Right.
So, what do you think this reveals about Jehovah's justice
This is the
in
part
the way
that
he
people are having
exercises
problems
his
with.
sovereignty?
For one thing, it shows that Jehovah is never cruel or unfeeling, and he's never the source of injustice. In fact, he hates it. He condemned the Edomites.
Wow, a bold stance from Jehovah. Bold stance those. He's against injustice.
For how they treated Israel. But doesn't it
Condemned.
also
He
reveal
condemned it,
something about
like a
how
politician.
Jehovah treats those he disciplines?
Yes. Jehovah never mistreats or turns his back on wrongdoers,
No.
even unrepentant ones.
No,
he is
no,
still
no.
acutely interested in them.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
It's actually
Wow,
so
that's
beautiful. I am such a good friend. This is so gross because we know that when they say Jehovah and his discipline, they mean the organization and its
Right.
discipline, the governing body and the rules. And so it is just copium for people who are shunning family members. Like, no, you're not being cruel. This is Jehovah's discipline, and it's nice, actually. I
Yeah,
know
that's
that
what
it
they're-
looks identical to cruelty to the point where we have to explain why it isn't with elaborate fan fiction. But just trust us.
Yep.
Ugh.
Okay, so how can we make this personal for us? What's going through your mind?
It really makes me ask
Yeah,
myself,
is this an AI
do I
voice?
share Jehovah's view of wrongdoers? As an elder, do I
What
do
are we doing
everything
here?
I can to try to move sinners to repentance?
What are
That
we
takes
doing?
emotional effort. And what
Emotional
if they don't?
effort.
It takes emotional effort to what? To
respond?
You know what
They
takes
have to be
emotional
removed.
effort to,
How do I
to
feel about them?
accept being
How do I
treated like you're
speak to
dead?
them? How do I
Yeah.
treat them?
Yeah, like when they attend a meeting.
Yeah.
Jehovah
We're allowed to treat
deeply
him like a
cares
person
about how we
then.
treat people.
That's a
That the classic JW like it's just classic abuser language of like, no, everything he does is loving. He's actually not even capable of doing that kind of thing. And
Right.
so when he does it for good reason. He's never cruel. So all the things that seem really cruel just aren't. And he had a good reason for doing them. You know, all the times where he was like, hey, Israelites, it's okay to rape the women in the town. Well, that it probably wasn't that or something because of the translation. You know, it's just constantly excusing how disgusting the Bible is as a text.
Right.
Okay, this sucks. This whole thing
especially
sucks.
true in the family. Jehovah
Especially
condemned
true
the
in the family.
Edomites because of how they treated their family, the Israelites. So that
Wow.
makes me think, how do I treat
This
my
is some
family?
Republican ass
How do I
shit,
treat
just like
you,
talking about
in
the
public or
family.
in private?
That's a great point.
But they
Or
just mean
am I
one very
inclined to be
specific
cruel
kind of
or
family.
Unkind in what I say or do, even if I feel justified for some reason. What effect could my treatment have on my family's thinking, or their relationship with Jehovah? What does Jehovah see?
Wow.
What
All these
message would
questions are
Jehovah
super
have for
normal.
me?
Being an adult and thinking about these questions is not psychosis. You should be thinking a lot during your day. What message would Jehovah have for me if Obadiah came to visit? That's a good thing for you. a 30-year-old man to be thinking about a lot during your
If
day.
Obadiah came to visit.
Look at what we found just by considering the circumstances. Asking when the book was written, looking for evidence.
When the
of
Bible
Jehovah's
seems
justice.
fucked up, it just
And of
isn't,
course,
and you're not
making it
allowed to
personal.
question
But there's
that.
still so much we haven't touched. What
If you
other
think we're
warnings
wrong,
about
that's
pride
too
can
bad.
we learn from the Edomites? How does Jehovah want us to respond?
That's the worst thing I've ever seen, is this costume. I mean, look at this. This is insulting.
He must not be able to grow a beard because they still got that glued on his face.
This is terrible, but it's like a hoodie. You know, it's just like it's like a Chewbacca costume where they cut the face out and his head pokes out. Like, this is not a person. They're not even trying.
Other warnings about pride can we learn from the
No.
Edomites?
And they
How
can't
does
get away
Jehovah
with
want
that
us to
cheap stuff
respond
anymore
when we're
now
in
that
this
they've
truth?
made some high effort
How
ones.
should we respond to how Jehovah executes judgments? There's so much we have
He
yet
doesn't
to
execute
uncover.
judgments.
And
but
please,
people
let's
do.
keep digging. We've
Right.
only made a small dent in the book of Obadiah.
Wow, a dent.
What did you find in Obadiah's story that you can apply personally?
So the problem that people were having with that was the same problem you were having. Like, they ignore the cruelty of God and they ignore the fact that they're cruel for shunning people.
Yeah.
And then they're like, God cares about how we treat people. Treating people like they're dead is cruel. When
Yeah,
you live
it's
down the
cruel.
street, that's cruel.
Yeah. And they know because they publish articles about not isolating yourself. They published a lot of that during COVID, making sure you're still having social contact, because they do fundamentally understand that it's cruel and that it's hurtful. But that's why they do it, because they see it as this is like an emotional like consequence that they know that if they come back to the truth, then that all can be made right. And so the cruelty is on purpose. Yeah. Well, I'm glad that we're all on the same page about that sucking that hard then. Yikes.
No.
How do you feel about those who are removed from the congregation? That's talking about people like us. They're making videos about us.
How do you feel about those who are removed from the congregation?
Bad. I
Jehovah
feel
still
bad.
loves those who are separated from him and treats them kindly, with the
How?
hope they'll someday return.
How does he treat me kindly? First of all, he's not real, and I separated myself from him. Thank you for that. But how does he treat me kindly? Please tell me.
It's so bizarre. Like, what could that possibly mean? I guess, except for the fact that they're like, well, God could just strike him down and kill him. So he's pretty kind when you think about it. Just letting him
He
live.
makes his sunshine upon them. Oh, thanks. Thank you. I appreciate that.
We just talked about all the fucked up shit he does in the Bible. God's not doing any of that stuff to him. So
Hey, at
when you
least
think
your
about
face
it,
isn't getting ripped by a she-bear. Be
Yeah.
glad. Be thankful.
Oh my God. Yeah, he hasn't smitten anybody.
No matter what our situation may be, Jehovah cares for us.
Oh, and you can tell how caring it
How
is.
does
Oh
he
my
care for
God.
those who struggle with mental illness.
Oh,
Let's listen
they're
to
still
Dominic's
talking about us.
Okay, so this is the guy that I did research on.
I had a very normal upbringing.
Ooh.
Very loving parents. But I always felt there was something missing. I didn't feel
Feels
whole.
like
feel
something's
happy.
missing.
When I was young, I loved music in particular.
Maybe he likes that song by MGMT that I just sang.
I started singing in a choir, doing a lot of competitions.
Flash delirium.
Very eerie in fast motion.
When I sang, I felt special.
Special.
I somehow got in my mind, if I don't become famous as a singer, I'm not going to be complete.
Dominic. Okay. All right. So let's make.
You're not gonna find him.
Oh, really? Domenic. What's his last name?
Alessia, Alessia.
Oh my God.
Play it,
Yeah,
play it
you're
a
right.
little more, and he'll say what he was a part of.
Oh.
Later on in my life, I felt this gloom. I got into the psychiatrist, and he diagnosed me with clinical depression.
Felt gloom.
So really music
Like
became
the age of
almost an
imprisonment.
obsession for me. I was still having singing lessons, and my singing teacher at the time, he encouraged me to go to the Victorian College of the Arts, and we got to perform some operas at little theatres, and that was a lot of fun. And that got me my graduate diploma of opera. And even when I got that, I just something was missing.
Man, It's a good. I don't know why I'm in such a good mood today, but I am, because they are hitting absolutely everything that I despise in these videos. Like telling people that it's not worth pursuing your dreams and you'll still feel empty inside.
Right.
Like, fuck that. It's just not true.
Yeah.
It's really gross. Just out of principle. You know, if this guy wants to join a religion and not be a famous singer instead, that's his choice, I suppose. But to use that as a cudgel against people who just want to live a normal life or pursue something that they're passionate about and be like, no, don't even bother. Here, listen to these people who did do all the fun stuff you want to do. But see, they still weren't happy. So don't even bother.
The amount of times where I was told, don't you want to sing for Bethel? Why don't you sing for Jehovah? Because that's not going to make me money.
You could write for the publications.
Oh.
You could draw the pictures for the Watchtower. Like, that's what I was told as a kid who liked to write and draw.
Right.
And I'm like, but that stuff sucks. I don't want to do that.
No. Right. Who's going to see that? Just a bunch of...
Yeah, who's going to see that? No, I'm not going to get any book sales based on that. I don't get to put my name on that Watchtower.
Things would be better.
I was haughty and after seeking great things for myself.
For Opera Australia, and I got in that.
He auditioned.
Australia, it's the real thing.
He got in.
Got to see a lot of things around the world.
It's a real thing.
Such as Switzerland, Greece, Hong Kong.
He's lying. So look, did you see how he looked to the side? So if you look up his name and you look up Opera Australia, I think they combined two names because I looked it up. I looked up if there was a Dominic in Opera Australia. I looked up if there was a Dominic Alessia. There's a woman named Dominica and a woman named Alessia. But there's no Dominic Alessia. So I think they just combined those names and just made that shit up. Because his name is not in there. Like I looked up Opera Australia from like that picture looked like it was from the 90s, early 2000s. So from the 80s, like from 89 to like 2003, there was a man named Dominic, but he was like Italian Australian and he was not that man.
Whoa.
So I think the story is just a made up, like it's just a lie.
Yeah, I think that this guy is telling a cock and bull story and he's never been called on it. And because it's a good story for Watchtower, they're filming it and they're not going to look into it at all, of course.
Right.
So he's just bullshitting. And now his bullshit story is on the Watchtower because this guy's, that is weird.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not to suggest that mentally ill people are in the organization, even though they just said that a little bit ago.
That's who they like to draw, to be honest.
It's the real thing. I mean, this guy. It's amazing. It's not what I thought was going to be the case. Like, oh shit! Sorry, I forgot to put the thing back on.
They actually think like people aren't going to research this. I'm like, we have Google and AI now, and AI will tell you if something is legit.
Well, this is the thing. They didn't do. That's why I believe that they probably just never questioned this at all at any point in the process. Like, I think they clearly just like scanned in this guy's Polaroids where he is not in front of an audience, as far as we can tell.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this guy's probably like a Tommy Tallarico. I believe that he auditioned for Australia Theatre, but I don't believe that he did get in.
Right.
And traveled around all those places.
His name would be on their site.
Yeah. Wow.
And I got in that.
Right. It's not like he would say to take it down because he's talking about it now on JW Broadcasting. And if anything, he would want proof, wouldn't he?
Such as Switzerland, Greece, Hong Kong.
Are you going to sing for us?
Time,
that's what I'm saying.
Sing something so we know you're not lying.
Obsessive compulsive disorder.
I know.
My mind wasn't really clear.
Oh, did you start telling compulsive lies by any chance?
It was like I was trying to find something else, but I didn't know what it was. I got to a point where I just couldn't cope. I left the opera. I left it all. So I just lived my life. Drank,
well, at least it had nothing to do with being a Jehovah's Witness that made him leave.
I had no purpose, no self-esteem. I was just reluctant to do anything for about 10 years. Jehovah's Witnesses would drop off magazines. And I would look into them. Actually, that started to sort of do something for me. And when I was very young, my dad did his first Bible study.
When he was very young, his dad did his first Bible study. So then they sneak in and tell you, this wasn't just some guy that the witnesses found in the ministry. He was raised a witness.
I don't know if he's saying his dad had a Bible study or his dad studied with him.
That's a good question.
When I learned that we could live forever and that Jehovah is a God that loves us.
Right, but that's, I think, either way.
I see. Yeah, his dad did
I
say,
wasn't even aware that I needed to know.
Yeah, so this is just
And
like,
then
they
one
can't
day it just
even
hit me. I was
tell a
sitting
good
reading
ministry
thing, and then
story.
I said to my-
Because
I
the only
just said
people
to
that
myself,
join are people
"Dom, I gotta
that
get to a
have
meeting."
some attachment to the group.
I knew where the Kingdom Hall was, but still I found it hard to get to a meeting. I wasn't brave enough to go, so that's when I prayed to Jehovah. Don't let my mental illness stop me from progressing spiritually.
Even though he was such a brave
And
singer.
then not long after,
Right.
I got determined.
He was famous.
I just did it.
So famous that Google
since I felt
comes up with
why was I
nothing.
I just feel so comfortable here.
I'm not famous.
Then
I'm
it just
sure
got
that
better
something
and
would come up for me.
Right.
Just because
I
I like
baptized in
my
2020.
videos or my name is on the
That
internet.
was, the best day of my life.
This guy, famous
I suddenly
Australian
knew
touring
that
singer.
Something was missing.
Not a trace.
I know now what it was. It was the truth. It was Jehovah. My
Spangled
OCD now is
banner.
under control. Even if I have a bad day, and I'm feeling a bit anxious. But then as soon as I think I've got a lot of brothers and sisters that love me in the congregation, I've got Jehovah above everything else, it just helps me to snap out of it quicker.
I don't know.
Since doing more than
Something about this guy I don't
start
trust.
to think much less about myself. In my case, about my problems. Well, medication and
What?
counseling helps. Now, the medication will help
They've
me to
got
relax
different
a bit.
different internet
That's as
where
much as
you're
it'll
at.
do, you know, won't feel the other things like, feeling hope. Medication doesn't give you that sense of hope.
Sense of cope.
Even now, I can say I never thought.
Medication doesn't give you a sense of hope. What? That's such a weird straw man argument. That's
you
not.
see how they put Jehovah and the organization on a pedestal? He has OCD, and he like mentions medication and counseling in passing as if that doesn't help.
Yes.
But Jehovah gives him everything he. No, you still need
It's
the
so
medication.
awful. It's so awful. Yeah, like, oh, and I guess also years of medicine and professional help.
Right.
Yeah, I guess that.
Like, get
but
off the medication
mostly,
and see what happens.
but mostly, it was the religion I joined when I was an adult.
Right.
And my
5
whole
years.
life prior to that, nothing really that important
Well, I
happened
would get to this point where
to
I'm
help
now.
with my OCD.
And only Jehovah can do that. I know, because if I could have done
Only
it, I would
God.
have done it in the past.
No other people with OCD learn to cope with it ever.
Now,
Just
I'm
you.
enjoying
Just
singing
fucking
for the
this
first time.
guy. Oh, he sings. They muted his singing, I noticed.
Like, if you're an opera singer, if you were a previous opera singer, you'd be singing. He wasn't even singing.
I know they made that video in the 90s of that lady opera singer who joined the organization. It was on one of the Young People Ask videos, and they do show her singing.
Exactly.
That's so funny. Like, and also, if you're an opera singer and you're trying to like be the guy singing at the with the acoustic guitar at the congregation get together, that's a lot of that's a big energy to bring.
Oh, God.
To sing
Don't remind me of
listen,
that.
obey, and be blessed.
So cringe. But
Oh
Apostle
my God.
Kirby said that he came up in the search. I'm curious what she saw. Because if I'm wrong.
What are you saying? What are they suppressing in the United States?
Right. 'Cause
What
I
aren't
looked
we
up
allowed
his
to
name,
know
and I
about this man?
couldn't find anything. Wait, if I go to a different tab, is it gonna like knock me off the screen?
If you open a tab on your screen, no. Okay.
Nick learned that his career could not bring him happiness.
What an
nor
important
shield him
lesson.
from Problems.
Even
He
though
has
nobody
confidence
thinks that
soon Jehovah will
will be
cure
the case.
all
Like, I think
illness,
most people understand that
physical,
a
emotional,
career
and mental.
and money isn't going
Until
to
that
bring you
day,
happiness.
Dominic has
That it
the
takes
power of
other
prayer
things.
to calm his heart and mind. Jehovah is always ready to listen
Jehovah.
as his servants pour out their hearts to him. In our music video, Hero of Prayer,
Oh, no.
notice the relief one sister
Forgot about
feels
the music.
as she prays.
See how insufferable this is.
Oh, no. I don't want to hear this song, but we will watch the video. Hang on. Trying to find what Apostate Barbie sent me.
Because he just doesn't seem like a singer, to be honest.
Hang on.
An operatic Australian singer.
Open image, a new tab. That's what I wanted to do. Okay. So, Dominic Alessi is a male actor and singer in Australia. That's so weird. No, that does not show up for me. Okay, well,
So he was a singer?
Yeah, but I guess we'd have to check our sources because maybe one of them is jw.org.
Right.
Okay. Well, actually, let's get a taste of what the song sounds like at 2x speed. Sometimes that's fun. And sometimes it's not. So we'll find out.
It's deep within, turning my thoughts into words. Where do I begin?
High effort.
Jehovah, I will never stop making it time to linger on in prayer. I won't bottle up all of these things I really
Kind of a banger.
to share.
This is working for me 100%. Now, they're absolutely just
she's
ripping
dancing.
off.
What the hell?
They're absolutely just ripping off the ending of La La Land, the last montage, because it's exactly this kind of like painted set look where everybody's frozen. So they are cheating, but that's okay. Homage. What is that?
In your hands, you grant me peace beyond compare. You're the hearer of prayer.
It kind of sounds like you said hero of prayer. Now that would be cool.
So this is a woman, I'm assuming, that's not a witness yet if she went up to the cart.
Right, we're seeing her journey.
Which nobody comes up to the cart. That's a lie.
Yeah, right off the bat, very unrealistic that anyone that normal looking would approach a cart in the door-to-door ministry. Or
I
not
was walking
door-to-door.
around the city yesterday, and the Hebrew Israelites were on one corner, and the J-Dubs were on the other corner.
Nightmare blunt rotation.
It was awful.
Oh my god.
When I say what's on my mind, I can leave it all behind because it's safe in your hands. You grant
LA.
me peace.
Say what's in your mind to your invisible friend. That's the only person you can really talk openly to in your life.
From listening to your loyal ones who follow your side, their prayers you were answering. You grant peace beyond compare. I'll pour out my heart.
I don't know. I don't know about all this. Why is your mom and dad in jail?
Oh.
In her dreams.
Interesting.
Oh, but then she remembered other people that aren't in jail. And she danced for them.
So did she do ballet before she was a witness? Did she do ballet as a witness? Because this would be frowned upon if she did ballet as a witness.
Oh, that's really like the La La Land thing. Let's pull this up so people know what I'm talking about. And it's always a good excuse to watch La La Land. Not that I need any more potential copyright strikes in my channel.
Did she pursue her dream as a ballet dancer before this?
That's, I think, what the story they're telling is. I think.
That was
and look, they even did the La La Land ending.
Oh wow, they really did.
All right, so here's, let me skip to where that happened.
Oh, I forgot how much I
hate that.
Yeah.
And then look at this. They did the black and white thing that they did.
Oh wow.
They did this exact same thing. I mean, it didn't look as cool, obviously, because it was Wash Our Bible and Tract Society. And then this.
I just wanted them to end up together. That was my.
No, it is definitely, it's a tough ending. It's a tough one.
We learned.
Oh, how have we benefited? Okay, well, that's enough of that, I think. Well, what did we learn today? What did we learn today, class? Yeah. Well, this was great. Where can people find you on the internet, sir?
So I have YouTube here. I got Dispello Dip YouTube. I'm also on Substack, but I'm really barely on there. And TikTok and Instagram too. All the same username.
Email me that stuff so I can put it in the description. Awesome. Well, thanks guys for watching. Please do donate to the GoFundMe if you possibly can. That'd be great. I did upload a exclusive Goofy edit to Patreon and YouTube member, whatever, if you want a little bonus action to join the paywall stuff, and that's it. And I usually play some kind of clip at the end. And you know what I guess I could do? I could play just a little bit of that stupid edit thing.
Welcome Andrew Soros, CEO of X, and his guest.
We're pleased to sit with Elon Musk as our final interview. Hey, Bob. I'm Andrew.
Okay. Where am I?
He doesn't need much of an introduction, but I want to say a couple things. Elon Musk is an anti-Semite.
Yes.
He is demonstrably anti-Semitic.
Yes.
And I've been trying to square this one in my head for a long time.
Yes.
He is somehow the president of Israel.
Yeah.
He's the richest person in the world.
What?
When we first met,
listen,
you know, no.